as supposedly this miracle is about to take place. And yeah, there are people that are out there mocking me and laughing and being sarcastic and saying I have no credibility. There's at least one more now than just the one guy we've always been talking about. We know we at least have 2 haters. But anyway, their perspective is simply not the one that I share. The reason I'm doing this is because I actually believe what I'm talking about, not because I'm lying or making it up or trying to make money. You know, I've done everything against the idea of making money. I'm giving away all this information that if I had an ad agency, they'd be like, David, you should be selling the Hall of Records. You should be selling the stuff on Kozarev. You should be selling Rabenikov. You should be selling the pyramid information about the Russian Dr. Alexander Golov studies. I just keep giving this stuff away 5 hours, 6 hours a week because I trust you guys to have my back and to help me out with the donations and ordering our products. And really, I'm just hoping that our company is going to get funded. It looks very, very good now. So then I posted and I said, please don't go, please don't go, please don't go. And my post got attacked 13 times by who obviously is the same person they're talking about as the fact checker. Because if there was going to be somebody else who was the fact checker, you would think they would show up when they're called out by name like this. 13 attacks drove up my post to the top. So thank you for the popularity boost. The first thing I saw when I scrolled down below this post is it says David Wilcock streams should be interesting now. I write back, this is a very sad day, to say the least. I had to hire 8 people, it's now down to 6, to fight against one relentless troll. Many of your posts had several million views. I'm talking the Alliance. The greater good seems to be in favor of continuing to give the Alliance a voice. Thank you for everything. So boom, there it is, 14. David Wilcock is a true soldier. Love you, brother. We can only hope that Ezra continues. So out of 14... 13 of them don't show up. What does that mean exactly? That means that they're all aliases of Stephen that I'd already blocked. And he attacked, we don't know if it could be 13 different accounts, or one account that he used 13 times. He probably used a whole bunch of different ones, but 13 attacks on one post. You can see right there, it says 14, but when I click on it, I only get 1, because all the rest is him. So now, wouldn't this imply that he is their fact checker? Because not one other account, and whoever this was, they would have been angry. Nobody else showed up to troll the top comment at all. And then the same thing happened on his epic comeback messages next day. He says, I never expected such an overwhelming flood of messages, comments, and support. I have to be honest, most of you are right, I was wrong. It's truly inspiring to see so many people deeply committed to this movement. I can only hope real change comes to stop the constant misuse of community notes by certain individuals. Not everyone, of course. And he had just said it was one person. The show goes on. Thank you all for your support, encouragement, and reminders. We all need them now and then. And again, he just couldn't resist. So once again, he drove me up to the top comment. There it is right below where it's posted. The top comment is Ann Darnell. Do not stop, she says to Ezra. You are recognized as a reliable, authentic voice among all the noise. David Wilcock is even doing a weekly show, reading your posts to his thousands of viewers, and this is already at 500,000 views. So everybody's getting this. Thank you, Stephen. You drove me right up to the top again, buddy. And ties them back to the posts. If you stop, where are we going to go for reputable information? And then I answered, I truly wish I wasn't the only one doing it. I just said on Wednesday, I'm only as good as my information, and he has the best information. Thank you, Anne. And so then, once again, I get 5 responses driving me up to the top. But of those 5 responses, as you can imagine, when we click on Show Replies, 4 of them are not visible, because they're all accounts of his that I've already blocked when he's fighting me. So then Galactic Zoo, I mean, this may be a real person. I've seen people waste time on this will know. I'm teaching you so you can make up your own mind. But again, that might be another Stephen or it might be somebody else. But all the other 4 did not even show up, so he is their fact checker.
Alright, this is an original by me, the Railroad Bum, although I do not beg. um, called Golden Streams, a felting of David Wilcock in honor of Mr. Stephen Cambion. So this is for you, Stephen. Golden Streams. I saw David Wilcock over on YouTube. He sounded like a psychopath, looked like a gay hooker. Said the angel Michael bade him to rainbow showers, to bathe in his own piss, to unlock superpowers. Golden streams, psycho dreams, sizzler jackets, anal beads, cutard nonsense in the cucumber patch, washed up delister from some ancient aliens trash. He ain't no prophet, he ain't no psychic. His only power is telling super lies. He grifts your granny, some crystal hippie bitches, with new age word salad, aliens and pseudo bullshit. Golden streams, psycho dreams, sizzler jackets, anal beads, cutard nonsense in the cucumber patch, washed up delister from some ancient aliens trash. Wilcock lied about my friend Mr. Cambion. Said Stephen threatened, swatted and robbed him, but the only thing that Stephen did was help to expose Wilcock's low down, dirty grift. Golden streams, psycho dreams, sizzler jackets, anal beads, cutard nonsense in the cucumber patch, just a washed up delister from some ancient aliens trash. He's just a washed up delister from some ancient aliens crap. And crap is right. Thank you, Stephen.
And thank you, Railroad Bum. Greetings and salutations, and welcome back, friends. It is Monday, meaning that we are back into the wacky world of Wilcock. And just when you think it can't get wackier, And by the way, I want to thank everybody who's already subscribed to our new Clips channel, but pinned in the YouTube live chat, and I will copy it over to the Kick live chat, is the link to our new Clips channel. And the latest clip is by none other than Spooky, who would be our preferred Clips producer if we could get that channel going and monetized. We need to get a few hundred more subscribers and get the watch time up, and I'm sure it will happen eventually, and you can help us make it happen faster. And thanks to Railroad Bum for that wonderful song. He also did a Dark Side Phil song we'll be sharing on the next Pig Roast. So what's going on in the wacky world of Wilcock is that Wilcock's entire latest scam, both of them really, the Stavatti thing and the hover cars, and also the angels gave me secret sacred knowledge and prophecy scam, it's all coming crashing down. And David Wilcock has retreated into his delusional world in which everything's great. He's getting trillions of dollars with his company Stavatti. And boy, there is a late breaking news story. Interestingly, remember, David Wilcock is claiming that he's got an unlimited legal budget because somebody's giving his company trillions of dollars. And so he is claiming that he is going to sue me for slander and terrorism and, get me the death penalty, which is completely and totally ridiculous. Get me life in prison. It's completely and totally ridiculous, but it gets better, my friends, because throughout David Wilcock making all of these ridiculous claims about me that are totally false, which, by the way, he makes with no evidence whatsoever. I have been consulting with an attorney, and there's great news today, because if David Wilcock sues me for saying some of the things that I've said here or reported some of the things that I've reported here, he's also going to have to sue anybody else who is saying similar things, like the Buffalo newspaper, who basically called Stavatti a scam. And now, oh, friends, it gets so much better, so much better. And I told David Wilcock in the latest Truth Seekers clip that he would be paying for all the false claims that he made about me. And he will continue. And the nightmare that David Wilcock is about to live through has only just begun. But let me be clear and clear up a little bit of, misconceptions. When I say David Wilcock will pay, I mean that I believe in karma. So if you run around accusing people of being a child predator, a terrorist, a thief, sending death threats, and more, that's bearing false witness against somebody. So if you lie about somebody, you will face a karmic debt. And David Wilcock is in trouble now, because despite claiming he's going to sue me, now he's going to have to sue me, that New York newspaper, and apparently he's also going to have to sue Wikipedia, who is reporting some of the very same things that I have been reporting for quite some time now about Stavatti Aerospace. That's right, Stavatti Aerospace gets a Wikipedia entry, and it, my friends, is not very flattering to David Wilcock's shady aerospace company, Stavatti. And thanks to John Christian Spadavaccia, who found this. I wasn't even aware of it. Stavatti Aerospace, says Wikipedia, is an American company headquartered in Niagara Falls, New York. As of 2025, Stavatti Aerospace is headquartered in Niagara Falls, New York. Its CEO is Christopher Beskar. Stavatti Aerospace was co-founded by Christopher Beskar, a self-described Star Trek fan, in 1994 while a student at the University of Wisconsin River Falls. Beskar was joined in the venture by his father, a former Alaska bush pilot who died a few years later. Early history: in 1998, 2 years after graduating university, Beskar started planning to take over a derelict Bell aircraft manufacturing plant in Niagara County, New York, to produce combat aircraft for the United States Armed Forces and U.S. allies. Niagara County Industrial Development Agency head John Simon discussed the potential of extending economic incentives to Stavatti to support their proposal, though the project was eventually shelved. By the early 2000s, according to Vice, Stavatti was the industrial equivalent of an internet troll, spreading titillating graphics depicting futuristic airplanes that stood little chance of ever producing. So I guess David Wilcock has to sue Vice as well as Wikipedia, as well as me. In 2008, Stavatti acquired the designs of ATT Javelin from the Aviation Technology Group following that company's bankruptcy. A decade later, Stavatti was among 4 or 5 companies to bid on a replacement for the United States Air Force T-38 trainer, marketing the Javelin design for that purpose, though, according to Smithsonian Magazine, it was considered an extreme long shot. The contract to replace the T-38s was ultimately awarded to Boeing. Yeah, a real airplane company. By 2020, Simon, who had left the NCIDA in 2003, was working for Stavatti as its chief strategic development and asset officer. That year, NCIDA awarded Stavatti several tax subsidies to support Bescar's decades-old plan. He planned to buy that hangar for decades. According to the Niagara Express, build military and commercial jets at a vacant military hangar in Niagara Falls. At the time, according to Buffalo Business First, the company pledged it would create 500 jobs in the area by 2025. According to Buffalo News, there was no evidence Stavatti had produced a single airplane of its own design in the company's then 26-year history. Its only known facilities were a one-person office suite and a machine shop slightly larger than a basketball court. In February 2023, according to Buffalo News, one of Stavatti's investors sued the company, alleging racketeering and fraud and claiming the company was a Ponzi scheme, which is exactly what we reported. But of course, we reported it back in 2023, around the time that the suit first launched. NCIDA subsequently rescinded the subsidies it had awarded in 2020, citing little progress by the company on its plan, and several local construction contractors filed lawsuits alleging non-payment or underpayment by Stavatti on services they'd provided. In December 2024, Stavatti was evicted from some of the space it had been occupying in Niagara Falls. Several months later, in March 2025, a staff editorial in the Buffalo News opined that Stavatti has worn out its welcome in Niagara Falls and that it was time for Bescar to pack up his computer-generated images and go. The column went on to allege that after 5 years of unfulfilled promises, unsubstantiated claims, and unpaid debts, 9400 Porter Road still looks much the same as when the company moved in, vacant and inactive, and that Stavatti has not produced a single airplane, military, commercial, or otherwise. As of 2023, David Wilcock was the company's director of advanced technology. Yeah, more like he was the director of advanced bullshit. So there you have it. Wikipedia slams David Wilcock's shady aerospace company with facts. And I know David Wilcock doesn't like the facts, but those are facts. Those are facts, and well-cited facts. Last Minute Lacey just became a YouTube channel member. So big shout out to Last Minute Lacey. If you become a YouTube channel member during a live broadcast, we give you a big shout out and thank you. So big shout out and thank you to Last Minute Lacey. Welcome to being a member. You get a member badge and some extra goodies. Check out the member section for a bunch of extra videos that are members only. Welcome, Last Minute Lacey. And Charles McDonald, over 30 years of this grift, says Charles McDonald. Yes, it's a big, long grift. And it's been going for quite some time. I wasn't even aware that they wanted to buy that airplane hangar for 20 plus years, right? But thank you for helping us to praise the cash. And let's get some support tonight.
Praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash, praise the cash.
That's right. David Wilcock is helping us to praise the cash. So it's interesting that David Wilcock is claiming that I'm lying about Stavatti. That would have to mean that a Buffalo newspaper is also lying about Stavatti, besides my own reporting. That John Christian Spatavaccia is also lying. He's writing a book about Stavatti. He's lying about all of this. Vice, the company Vice, is lying about all of this. And now Wikipedia is lying about all of this. They're totally not a fake company. David Wilcock, your entire grift is coming crashing down. You have built a fake fantasy world built on lies, half-truths, and speculation. Oh, we're definitely getting trillions of dollars. Your entire fantasy world is coming crashing down. David Wilcock has been living in a fantasy world where he's going to make millions and billions of dollars with this company Stavatti that has never produced a single airplane product or service in its 30-something year history, right? So my name tag still says, oh, yeah, let me fix that. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, I apologize. That's funny. My name tag still said Dark Side Phil. If you haven't checked that out, that was very funny. Go and check that out. It's in our recent live videos. All right, I think we got it. But thank you, Charles McDonald. David, Midnight Mark, you're a moron. David Wilcock is a moron. I'm beginning to think that you're like a reverse troll. You can't truly believe. Listen, did you know Midnight Mark, in his books, he said that Ascension would come no later than Memorial Day 2025? What happened to that, Midnight Mark? Tick-tock, motherfucker. It's past May. No Ascension. No extraterrestrial ET contact. Hey, David Wilcock, you live in a fantasy world where you said that there would be open extraterrestrial contact by May of 2025. There would be mass arrests by May of 2025. There would be Ascension by May of 2025. Well, it's June 2nd. Tick-tock, motherfucker. Where's the Ascension? Where's the open extraterrestrial contact? Where's the mass arrests? Oh, none of it happened? Just like in 2012 when you ran the Ascension is coming soon scam and nothing happened. Just like in the year 2000, leading up to the year 2000 when you ran the Ascension is coming soon scam. And we're all going to get superpowers. Well, I haven't gotten my superpowers, David Wilcock. David Wilcock lives in a delusional fantasy world. And I deal in facts and evidence. And this is the problem. And by the way, David Wilcock has been trying to silence me as a reporter for over a year now. He has been trying to threaten me and bully me into silence for over a year now. And I'm here to tell you, David Wilcock, I will not be bullied by somebody as gay as you. Do you really think I'm intimidated by somebody like obviously somebody that is closeted homosexual like you? Do you really think I'm intimidated by your threats? Your threats of lawsuits? You're out of ammunition, bro. You've already told everybody I'm a child predator. You told everybody that I'm a thief stealing money out of your bank account, that I'm sending death threats. You told everybody that I'm a terrorist, that I'm sending suspicious packages in the mail. You told people I'm a child predator. What? You told people that I'm that I'm writing community notes on Twitter. Now I'm sure he's going to blame me for that Wikipedia entry, but we know who made that article, and it was not me. Maybe we'll get him on the show here. So, David Wilcock, what else are you going to do to try to stop me? I will not be stopped. I will not be intimidated by your threats of lawsuits, threats of getting me arrested, getting me the death penalty. You are just lucky, David Wilcock, that your dumb as rocks followers like Midnight Mark, who happens to be in my live chat for some reason, are so stupid that they can't critically think. Like, let's take one lie. David Wilcock says he's going to sue me, and I'm going to have to make a plea agreement to avoid the death penalty. There's no death penalty in civil lawsuits, David Wilcock, you moron. There's no plea agreements in civil lawsuits. You can't force me to take a plea deal. It's not a criminal case, David Wilcock. Get a real lawyer, you fucking moron, and stop. Listen, it's maybe get a good lawyer. Because a good lawyer will tell you, if you really want to sue this guy Stephen for what you say is slander, maybe it's a good idea not to slander him and say he's a child predator or a Satan worshiper or a terrorist or that he's a criminal or that he's stealing money from your bank account with absolutely no evidence of any of that. How are you suing me for slander when every week I get subjected to some psychological torture every week where I have to have my phone blow up with all these people sending me clips of what you're accusing me of this week? The grift is up, David Wilcock. Give it up. Give it up. The only way to win this game with me, David Wilcock, is not to play this game with me. You are not smart enough to do this with me. You are not powerful enough to do this with me. You are not devious enough to win a game with me. I'm pretty sure that if David Wilcock played chess, I could checkmate him in 7 moves or less. That's what a moron he is. Remember, he's got a 180 IQ, right? He's got a 180 IQ, but he doesn't know the difference between a criminal lawsuit and a criminal case and a civil lawsuit. He's smarter than Einstein, but he doesn't know. Maybe I shouldn't accuse this guy of things I've never filed police reports for. Did you know that? David Wilcock has accused me of sending suspicious packages in the mail. He's accused me of stealing $7,700 from his bank account, sending him death threats, trying to extort money from him, harassing him on the internet. But he hasn't filed a single police report about any of this. That alone tells you that David Wilcock has nothing but his delusional fantasy world in which he lives. And I'm here bringing you facts and evidence and court documents. Today, we brought you the facts from the Wikipedia article, which mirrors much of my reporting over the past several years about David Wilcock and Stavatti Aerospace. So what are you going to do, David Wilcock? Are you going to sue the Buffalo newspaper? You're going to sue me? You're going to sue Vice News? You're going to sue Wikipedia as well? Because according to the lawyer that I talked to, if you're going to sue me for saying something but let other people saying the same thing off the hook, that's an instant dismissal. Besides the fact that I live in an anti-SLAPP state. SLAPP lawsuits are designed to remove people from public discourse, to stomp all over their rights to free speech and freedom of expression. My state does not allow that. So David Wilcock, he say, we're going to spend up to $1 million on this. Good. Do it. Waste more money. Don't you already owe the IRS $1 million? Does he think the IRS is just going to let him spend $1 million that he happens to have on lawsuits and not seize it or take it from him? It's absolutely ridiculous that we're here, right? Charles McDonald with another one for the goal says, no ascension, only praise the cash. Yes, absolutely. And thank you, Charles McDonald, who currently is the MVP of the Praising the Cash. Let's get some support. Let's get the super chats. I have an incredible bonus for tonight if we hit the goal that you will not believe. You will not believe what I found on this fake psychic girl, Sarah R. Adams.
Ra commands you to bow down and praise the cash.
Ra commands you. It's not me. I'm not asking for the money. It's Ra, right? Corey said the Dark Alliance was made up. Wilcock swears it is a real thing. So Wilcock needs to sue Corey Good as well. Yeah, exactly. And that's another thing. We're going to see in these clips tonight, David Wilcock is living in a delusional fantasy world. Remember, first he said the Shadows of Ezra was Ezra Cohen, and that Ezra is the Alliance Communications Director, and he's going to be the head of the Defense Intelligence Agency. So Stephen better watch out, or he's going to get the death penalty. The guy's talking in spaces, David Wilcock, you idiot, you moron. Anybody can listen to his voice and know he's not Ezra Cohen. He even said he's not Ezra Cohen, and he's not part of the military, and he doesn't know what the hell the Alliance is. You made all that stuff up for your dumb as rocks followers, but the grift is coming crashing down. In David Wilcock's own books, he said that Ascension was coming by no later than Memorial Day 2025. Now he's kicked it to September. Do you know why? Because now he has a few more months to collect money from morons before even his morons wake up and say, no ascension again? I guess David Wilcock's full of shit. Imagine that. So we're going to get right to the clips because they get good real quick. Right from the beginning, they get good. And yeah. Uh-oh. Oh, no, I got it. Okay. Just bear with me one moment. We're going to put up our fair use banner. I'm going to cite fair use. We are critiquing the videos that we are sharing. It's a transformative work. And we're sharing it to educate the public. We'll be discussing the clips with our live chat while we do this. This is the textbook definition of fair use. And lawyer letters are standing by for anybody foolish enough to think that they will falsely copyright strike or claim my channel. All right, let's get into it. Right from the beginning, David Wilcock makes some stunning whoppers that I can easily disprove, and we're going to fact check him live. And I'm going to make a moron of you, David Wilcock. I will make a moron of you again and again and again. It will not stop until the grift is over. You decide when this ends. You want it to stop? Admit to your followers that you scammed them for fake angel prophecies and that there is no ascension. It didn't come when you said. Give everybody that gave you that money refunds. Until then, the feltonings will continue until the truth improves from David Wilcock. I will make you a moron. Every week I will make you look like a bigger moron and a bigger moron and a bigger moron. It will not stop. I told you that you would pay. You will pay with humiliation. David Wilcock, you will pay for all the false accusations you've made against me. And I don't mean financially. I mean, I will make you pay by humiliating you, by showing the world what a pathological liar looks like and operates like. I will not be stopped. I will not be silenced or intimidated into silence by threats of lawsuits or threats of arrest. I have done nothing illegal. I have not even done anything immoral or unethical as a journalist, let alone criminal. When I said you would pay, you will pay with public embarrassment, with public shame and humiliation. Getting caught with your pants down, grifting, yet again, scamming vulnerable, weak people who are searching for something more. And all too easily, Wilcock is there to give them that which they want for a price. Let us begin the feltoning, my friends.
We actually have gotten a deal. We have gotten our first deal, which apparently is for 1,500 aircraft.
Whoa, that's a big problem already. Big problem already. All you have to do is Google how many 747s were manufactured. And pardon me, I'm doing this right now on the fly. Wow, would you look at this? So David Wilcock claims that his aerospace company is getting trillion-dollar deals. And part of the trillion-dollar deal, or I'm sorry, 823 billion, 838 billion, whatever he said, he claims that his company is getting almost $1 trillion to create 1,500 commercial airliners. Well, we can look to the example, my friends, the example of 747s. Now, remember, David Wilcock, you just said that your company got a deal to make 1,500 aircraft. Do you know how many 747s were manufactured in all of time? No? Well, let me educate all of you. How many 747s were manufactured? A total of 1,574 Boeing 747 aircraft were produced during the 54-year production run, which began in 1967. David Wilcock, do you really expect us to believe that a company that's never produced a single airplane is just suddenly going to manufacture 1,500 airplanes in a small amount of time? And you yourself said that these were commercial airliners, not military. In Boeing's entire history, they've only produced about 1,500. It took them 54 years to do it. How long is it going to take you to do that, David Wilcock? And this is where it gets interesting, friends, because all you need is Google to prove that David Wilcock is a pathological liar. Who's investing that much money in a company that's never made a single airplane, knowing the history of aircraft like some people do, and knowing it took Boeing 54 years to produce 1,500 commercial airliners? But David Wilcock is going to sit here with a straight face and act like his company's really got a deal. Oh, we really got a deal to produce 1,500 airplanes. Great. Let us know in 54 years when you're done that project. But besides that project, remember, they're also building hover cars, electric vehicles, jet fighters, and firefighting airplanes, commercial airliners. They're going to do all free energy engines. They've got incredible exotic garbage technology too that they're developing. Like, come on, David Wilcock. This is all bullshit. And I just proved that your claims that your company got a deal to produce 1,500 airliners is complete and total horse shit. It's bull. But you can sit there on a live stream and lie to that many people with a straight face because he's desperate. He's desperate for money, friends. I mean, what else is David Wilcock going to do? You think he's going to get a job when this angel grift comes crashing down? You think he's going to get up off his ass and do something meaningful with his life other than con morons out of their money on the internet? I don't.
I mean, I expect the DS is going to try to throw that off somehow.
Oh, yeah. If it doesn't, and Macario says, so of course that's an excuse when nothing happens. When they don't produce 1,500 airplanes, he's just going to blame the deep state. Even though it took Boeing, a real company with real infrastructure. How many manufacturing plants do you think Boeing has? They don't have any. They've got an empty hangar. But they're going to produce 1,500 airplanes for this $1 trillion deal. Sure, David Wilcock, sure.
I don't know if they really can. But even if they did, we've got several other deals coming in behind it. So we have officially crossed the line. We have a signed contract.
But they didn't get the money yet. We got a signed contract. Show the contract, Wilcock. Put it on the screen. See, for those that don't know, David Wilcock dumped a lot of his money into this company. Some say instead of paying his $1.5 million in income tax due, he gave the money to this shady company. And I think they're scamming him. I think this scammer has gotten scammed out of his money, and I'm here for it. And I think they're lying to him every week about deals coming in. And he's a fucking moron, so he believes them because he doesn't want to admit to himself that he got scammed out of all of his money.
We are going into business. We are going into production.
When can we see the first airplane? And also remember that David Wilcock says, as soon as we get funded, we'll have a working hovercar prototype within a year. Great. Then you should have a working hovercar prototype within a year of a few weeks ago, when you started claiming that you got this big money deal with your company. Not only do you have to produce 1,500 airliners to prove that you're not a liar, a pathological one, if you ask me, you also have to produce a working hovercar prototype because you promised you'd have a working hovercar prototype within a year of getting funded. Now you claim that you got funded to the tune of $1 trillion, so money's not an option. But you know what is going to be? Money's not a problem. But you know what is going to be a problem? David Wilcock has no working anti-gravity technology. He has no working free energy technology. And I know that because those things are science fiction. They don't exist. But let's get to the next clip. There's lots more lies to come, friends.
And I'm just having a great week.
Yeah, and like I said, he's delusional. He is retreating. He knows his grift. David, you're not this stupid. You know that you've only got a few more months to grift off of this angel thing. The book sales are drying up. Your own book says Ascension by Memorial Day 2025. That didn't happen. Why should anybody buy the book from you when your own book is lying to people? The grift is ending. But David Wilcock is he's like those three monkeys, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. He's just going to cover his eyes and his ears. No, Stavatti is a real company. We really got $1 trillion. I'm not making this shit up. I'm not just a pathological liar. So he's retreating into his delusional fantasy world, which is going to make the fall when the bottom finally drops out of all of this scam and these lies and this grift that he's been running for years, it's going to make it even more spectacular. So I'm here for it. I told you, Mr. Wilcock, the karmic wheel never loses, and you will pay.
We've had incredible victories, incredible wins. We're just piling them up.
Does this look like somebody that's winning? And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but when I'm winning, I don't brag about it. You got to be humble. So here he is bragging about all these wins that Stavatti has. What's a win? That you're being sued by one of your investors who called you a Ponzi scheme and investment scam, and that made its way to Wikipedia? Was that a win? Was it a win when your own accountant for your company sued you and got a judgment filed against you? Was it a win that you have to go into court and explain why you are not obeying the subpoena you were given by Gaia TV? Is that a win? Was it a win when the vendors of Stavatti Aerospace sued your company for unpaid bills? Was that a win? Was it a win when your company got evicted from part of their property? Was that a win? Was it a win when Mark from Falcon Space drove all the way to that facility and showed that there's nothing happening there? Was that a win? No, I don't think David Wilcock has any wins, so he's just going to make some wins up to soothe his broken, fragile little ego because he got scammed by this company. They're never going to produce 1,500 airliners. I would bet you my house on that.
The biggest one, of course, is not to have to worry about money anymore. We don't actually have the money yet, but...
Yeah, he caught himself. I don't have to worry about money anymore. Oh, shit. Did I just say that out loud? No. Tell the dents we don't have the money yet and encourage them to keep contributing to super chats.
The time loop from 1999 indicates that we're going to get it within this month of June. So
they're not going to get any money. They're not getting any money.
So once that happens, it's life-changing. I can't tell you how crazy it's been.
Yeah. David Wilcock thinks he's going to be a trillionaire. Like, imagine the depression that's going to come to him after he realizes, oh, shit, I'm not going to be a trillionaire? Oh, no.
To live my life for so many years, 4 years now of just absolute bankruptcy, not even having, I just got underwear, believe it or not.
Does this sound like a winner? He can't afford underwear? Is he really telling his audience he can't afford underwear? Holy shit, man. I've had some tough times, man. Not that tough, though. When I was young and just starting out, I was broke as shit. And I bought everything at the thrift store. But the one thing I would splurge on is brand new socks and brand new underwear. I've never been so poor to have to buy underwear from the thrift store. Thank God. But here, David Wilcock, who made $258,000 last year by his own words. He said he made $258,000, is telling his audience he can't afford to buy underwear.
I just bought more underwear. It costs $150, but, everything counts.
$150? Jesus Christ. What kind of underwear is he buying? Gold underwear? Like, what fucking underwear costs? What fucking underwear costs $250 or $150? I don't know. Let me look on Amazon. I just put underwear. Yeah. Boxer briefs, $37. Pack of 4. I don't know. 5-pack, $12.68. Gildan boxer briefs. How is he spending $150 on underwear? But we're talking about a guy who spends $300 a week on bison steaks by his own admission, because that's the best meat, right? David Wilcock is living a million. I guess millionaires buy $150 underwear. I don't know.
Everything matters. Leanne Boudreau, yay, miracles. Blessings to you, David Wilcock, and all here. Yeah, I have to say, this is about as comfortable as I've ever felt sitting in this chair.
This is as comfortable as he's ever felt. His company is getting sued into oblivion. There's newspaper articles about what a scam and a sham they were. There's Vice article calling that company a scam. There's Wikipedia entries basically calling the company a scam and a Ponzi scheme. And this is the most, he's doing great. He's so much winning here. I really believe that he has fallen into a fake fantasy land to cope. This is a cope stream, friends. He's trying to cope here.
And until you're no longer in seven-figure debt to the IRS and you have a way you can pay it off, it's never going to stop. You're never going to feel safe. You're never going to feel very happy. Living alone here in isolation.
Oh yeah, he's 1.5. He's $1 million in debt to the IRS too. So much winning
has been really, really intense, and I just haven't been able to afford to go anywhere else. And for 4 years now, I've been in this Michael situation.
Yeah. Oh, we're supposed to feel sorry for him because he's living in a multi-million-dollar mansion in the mountains of Colorado, as if that's a hardship. Dude, the guy's probably got like 100 acres around this $1 million mansion. I haven't checked, so I don't know. Don't hold me to this. I haven't checked on what the acreage of that property is, but even if he only has 5 acres, like, living in a multi-million-dollar log cabin mansion in the beautiful mountains of Colorado is not a hardship, but he's got to pretend it is so that his moron followers feel sorry for him and give him more money. Yeah, Wilcock was very clear last night. He's not getting the money. Stavatti is. Yeah, but he thinks they're going to give him money. And that's another thing. If somebody invests in a company to build airplanes, they don't want you spending that money on frivolous lawsuits, right? Railroad Bum is here. I am late to the party. We played your song, but I really appreciate you including my song. My pleasure. Thank you so much. Suffer, Wilcock. Suffer. Oh, yeah, that's another thing, David Wilcock. You said you only have one critic. There's random people writing songs about what a grifter and a scammer you are and sending them to me. That alone proves you have more than one critic. People don't like you. People are writing songs felting you for what a grifter and a con artist you are. Whoa, look at that. Charles McDonald hearing the call of the goal. All right, I'm giving the bonus material because Charles, even if we don't hit the goal, we hit the goal. Charles McDonald with a kind and generous $100 Canadian. Praise the cash, bitches. Holy geez, very, very generous of you, Charles McDonald, who says, Midnight Mark wanted you to have this with love. That's some love right there. And thank you for appreciating us. Big show support from Charles McDonald. Hell yeah, praise the cash. That's how it's done, David Wilcock.
Praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash. The blue chickens command you to praise the cash. Praise the cash, praise the cash.
Praise it. Praise it. Praise it, my friends. Thank you all for your kindness, generosity, and support. Big show support tonight. And Troll is here with another one for the goal. Wow, did I miss the box of dildo reveal on your birthday? Happy birthday, by the way. Oh, yeah. If anybody's feeling generous, we will accept birthday super chats tonight. My birthday was awesome, Troll. And thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support of the show. It is much, much appreciated.
Praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash.
So for my birthday, it was on Saturday, and I really didn't want to be away from my kids and my wife, but there's all kinds of stuff I need to do at the cabin. Unlike David Wilcock, I always say this, hey, David Wilcock, bitches buy cabins, especially $1 million log cabin style mansions. A real man builds his own, and I built my own, but I'm still building it. And it's my favorite place on earth. It really is. And so I didn't really want to be away from my family, but I knew that I'm coming home on Sunday, so it's not a big deal. So on Saturday, I worked on the cabin, and I'll tell you, I worked. I'm doing cement work. It's like 55 out at night. It was 45 at night. It's still freezing there. But I suffered through. I worked on the cabin. I was right where I wanted to be. I had a great birthday. And happy birthday to my friend Matt's wife, Rita. They're right across the street from our cabin. They're only real close neighbors. And she shares a birthday. His wife shares a birthday with me. So, I had a wonderful steak dinner and loaded baked potato, the perfect cabin dinner, and some beers. I had a great, great birthday by myself. And then I came home on Sunday to cake and ice cream and some presents and my kids and all of that stuff. So I had a great birthday. Thank you all for the birthday wishes. And I want to say thank you to all the Facebook people who, I started replying. There was 250 people sent me a happy birthday message on Facebook. So thanks to you all. Cloud Runner with $1. We'll take it. Thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. Dave with $2. Wilcock never listened to Mr. Micawber. Yeah, I guess not. But thank you for your kindness. And Stormcrow with $5. Happy belated birthday to you, Steve. Yeah, I thought about streaming on my birthday, but that felt grifty. I was going to do like a birthday chill stream, like Darkside Phil, try to grift some money, but I just decided I had worked on the cabin all day. I was beat and exhausted, so I just said, oh, it's okay. I don't need the grift. It's quite all right. But thank you all for your kindness, generosity, and support.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
Oh, is that the same one twice?
As the Earth does this crazy.
No, just happens to be the same length. All right, we're going to move on with the clips.
As the Earth does this.
Now the alliance is whatever you think it is.
Crazy cataclysmic activity. I honestly did believe that, and I honestly expected it to happen in the year 2012. But now, since I started, and that continued right up through 2021, I was anticipating
everybody.
Catastrophic events. I was anticipating having to survive. I have a huge
Thank you, Clever. I appreciate it.
Frozen bison steaks in my
every
freezer.
Dollar helps.
Enough for like 2 months of no food. I anticipated something like that.
Yeah. Do you know how much 2 months of bison steaks would cost? He's talking about grass-fed organic bison ribeye steaks. That's like $30 a steak. So 30 times 30 times 60. That's how much money he has in his freezer as he's telling people how desperate he is. Even if we take it at $30 a steak, 30 and just one steak a day, that's $1,800 worth of steaks he has in his freezer while he's on YouTube begging for money. Poor little broke millionaire, right? Maybe if you don't have money like a millionaire, you don't buy $1 million home or try to live a millionaire's lifestyle if you don't have money like that.
I had all the, I always try to keep around 15 5-gallon jugs of water in my garage.
Man, I'm not saying somebody should go in there and piss in those barrels, but
my goal is to be full.
He'd probably like it. Remember, he likes taking baths in his own piss. And just to be clear, I'm not suggesting anybody do that. I just came to mind.
Ready for whatever might happen, however long it's going to take to happen.
Probably be better to take a dump in the water barrels.
And at the same time, I've been a long-term proponent since 2009. I was briefed on the idea that, yes, there is an alliance.
He was briefed on the alliance by a con artist. The person who briefed him was a fake doctor, Pete Peterson, with a fake education who ran pump and dump stock scams and claimed that he founded Cyberdyne before the movie Terminator and made robots like the Terminator. Like, he believes anybody. He's such a moron. There's no alliance, David. It doesn't exist, you moron.
There's a group within the intelligence community and the military around the world, especially America, and that their plan is to expose the real problems that are going on and bring those people to justice. But you can't just do it willy-nilly.
Oh, I can't do it willy-nilly, no.
There's a line that you have to cross where you got to do it all at once.
And by the way, you've been grifting off of this, saying that this shit is going to happen since before 2009. So what's the deal with that, right? Come on, David Wilcock.
This is a very, very exciting time to be alive, you guys. And so I really do feel blessed to be here today. Once we've gotten this deal, which we now have, it's sort of like every other problem I ever had is gone.
So listen to the delusion. Stavatti's getting $1 trillion. This solves all my problems. Unless the money's not real, David. Unless the deal doesn't happen. How many times have you said that a deal was coming in and Stavatti would have the money in a week or two? At least 100 times you've said that. But this time it's supposed to be different? Forget about the boy who cried wolf. David Wilcock cries aerospace deals. And none of them ever happen. So go ahead and escape into your cowardly, delusional, fake fairy tale world where all your problems are solved because somebody gave Stavatti, a company that's never produced a single airplane, $1 trillion to make airplanes. Go ahead, escape into your delusional fake fantasy world. But eventually reality is going to come and smack you in the face, you dumbass. And I'm here to help reality do that. You're not getting the money, David. Your problems aren't solved. Your problems are multiplying. And the minute that you started making all these false accusations against me, before he did that, before he made this personal, I could take or leave. I think he's funny to make fun of, but I could kind of take or leave covering him. But as soon as he made it personal, I said, I'm covering him every week now. Fuck this guy.
Or easily resolved. And so we're looking for amicable resolution of all of these different issues. It should be very easy to do that with the...
Yeah, he knows Gaia watches his show, so he's begging Gaia to leave him alone. He's got to go to court on July 1st. And by the way, David, I'm going to be in on that call. I'm going to hear everything that happens. It's a public hearing. I get to call in and listen to you grovel in court and then report on it. Did I mention that your problems are multiplying, not going away?
The IRS, with any other troubles that I might have had. This brings up a very easy solution.
If you have the money, but you don't have the money.
And so remember, the company that I started, we're working on hover cars, anti-gravity, power plants, starships, and we do intend to deliver. And so the first round of
rocket ships too. You're going to do all those things, and he's going to build rocket ships, hover cars, spaceships, interplanetary spaceships, interstellar spaceships, free energy engines. Did I mention hover cars? Yes. Rocket ships, and they have to build 1,500 commercial airliners. I mean, go talk to anybody in the aerospace industry and lay out those products and ask them, how long would it take even a powerhouse giant like Boeing or Lockheed Skunk Works to do all that? This is a fantasy, David. You live in a fantasy world. This is not real. You need a psychiatrist immediately. Your parents should have you committed, if you ask me. If David Wilcock, honest to God, I'm being honest here. If David Wilcock were a member of my family, even a cousin of mine or something, I would try to seek to have him 302'd for psychological evaluation. The guy is telling people he takes baths in his own piss and got superpowers, and he used his superpowers to save Trump from the assassin's bullet. He's telling people he's going to build rocket ships and interstellar spaceships and hover cars and free energy engines. He is not well. He is not well. And thank you, Nemesis Bex, for one for the goal. Thank you for your kindness, your generosity, and your support of the show, and praise the cash.
Praise the cash, praise the cash. Thank Ra Almighty, praise the cash. Praise the cash, praise the cash. Thank Ra Almighty.
Thank you, Nemesis Bex. Much appreciated. And Anna Louisa saying happy birthday. Oh, did I not read that one? Missed your birthday. Happy belated birthday. Thank you, Nemesis Bex. I appreciate that. And Anna Louisa with another kind and generous birthday wish and one for the goal. Happy birthday, Stephen. Well, praise Ra.
Ra commands you to bow down and praise the cash.
Anna Louisa heard the call of Ra. And RP with 5. Wilcock, but archangels. I soaked in my own pee. Why won't you help me? the demon he really prayed to. Laugh out loud. You are correct, sir. It is just as ridiculous as you've just laid out, right? But praise the cash, RP, and thank you for your kindness.
Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
Oh, here we got an expert in the audience. My audience is awesome. This is why I love my audience. Thank you, Just Chad, chiming in saying, I'm an aviation broker. My uncle was the president of Gulfstream. He just retired 2 years ago. This isn't how any real aerospace company works. Just Chad, email me at truthseekershow@gmail.com. Why don't you let your uncle, even if he just talks to me on the phone, like I can lay out the Stavatti plans of everything that they've bragged about, and him being the president of Gulfstream, like, hey, can you shed some light? Like, does this sound like reality? Because I know it's not reality, Just Chad, but we need an expert in here to school David Wilcock. And thank you, Just Chad. What a great comment. We have a great audience, so diverse. And let's see what else this liar has to say. He's lying through his fake teeth.
Capitalization should be coming in really soon. And
just as always, the money should be coming in really soon.
And it is exactly the way that the Michael prophecies have been telling us it was going to happen week after week after week.
Well, that's how you know it's never going to happen, because everything else the Michael prophecies told us was going to happen, like ascension by Memorial Day 2025, that didn't happen. And that's how the prophecy said it was going to happen. And what about the prophecy said open extraterrestrial contact by May of 2025? And that didn't happen. And mass arrests are coming by May of 2025, and that didn't happen. Now the prophecies are saying that David Wilcock's going to get this money. So chances are this is never going to happen, David Wilcock.
He said in these prophecies from 1999 that we were going to get funded, and now we have been. So it's a truly, truly blessed occasion to be here today with you guys. And yeah, I feel a lot more relaxed.
Yeah. He's relaxed. He owes the IRS $1 million. He's having trouble paying his house payments. Remember, he moved his house into a shell corporation to hide it from the IRS, allegedly, right? He's doing so great. This is a cope. He is coping hard here. And the losses are going to keep coming for you and make this cope even more spectacular, because as the losses that you have continue to get worse and worse and worse, David Wilcock, as those losses continue to get worse, we're going to clip back to this with you telling everybody how great everything is and you're so relaxed and all your problems are solved. Then we're going to show people your new problems.
So you can take a muddy glass of water, vibrate it at pure sound frequencies. It mysteriously turns into sacred geometry. We had somebody post that on my X page. That's David_Wilcock. Highly recommend you go check that out. I do post updates on there that are important.
Yeah, Wilcock's views are way down. Even his morons are leaving him in droves. And by the way, David, I'm getting a lot of messages from former followers of yours. And I'm starting to ask some of them if they would come and share their story about how they feel ripped off by you, how they felt betrayed after they gave you the money to find out that the information you gave them was all fake and nonsense. And maybe we're going to do a roundtable with all these former followers who are going to dish on how they feel like you ripped them off, how they feel like they were betrayed by you after giving you money for secret, sacred knowledge from angels and finding out it's all gibberish. Remember, I said it's only just begun, David. The game has just begun.
The view count has been very, very, very low, which is extremely paradoxical considering I think I have either over 150 or 170,000 subscribers.
Suffer viewers, suffer view count, suffer post reach. No, your audience is shrinking because nothing you say is going to happen ever happens. You said for 2 years that extraterrestrial contact's coming in May and mass arrests and ascension. May of 2025 didn't happen. People are leaving in droves. They're finally waking up and going, oh, this is just a grift. This is just a scam. He's not a prophet. He's not a psychic. He's a scammer and a grifter. And they're leaving.
and I'm only getting like 5,000 to 10,000 views. Something's broken in the algorithm, man. That's all I can say. But anyway.
No, something is broken in David Wilcock's skull. That's my take.
Is that you conform to the mainstream. You don't have any funny idea.
Yeah, this is funny. He's using a fake cigarette, and he somehow can't even handle a fake cigarette.
You're not trying to tip over any apple carts, because we like those apples, David. Frankly, we're very happy with the apple cart the way it is. So, son, I have had so much trouble trying to get you to play a straight and narrow game, and you simply won't do it. The only DNA portal that you ever really had came right out of dear old daddy, well, and of course your mother. But we don't want to talk about your mother too much, because I really greatly resent her, son. I greatly, greatly dislike your mother, but that's for another conversation. I'm trying to talk to you about how your mother and I programmed you better than this, because, son, I brought your DNA in here, and I can portal it right to hell out.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious that David Wilcock must have a very strained relationship with his parents, because he basically makes fun of them on every live stream, especially his father.
I am very disappointed.
And listen, I can only speak as a father. If David Wilcock were my son, I'd beat the shit out of him. And I don't believe in physical punishment. But in this case, I'd make an exception. Like, what? I don't know. I want to be proud of my children. If one of my children turned into a career-long con artist on the internet, I would be mortified. I would be so disappointed. I blame myself for not raising my son right. David Wilcock's parents are responsible for him being a con artist and a grifter, in my opinion.
Son, and I, you're trying to screw me up.
At least partially responsible.
Have had it. Woo! Angry daddy is in the house. You got to have your cigarette. You got to have your glasses. And not lose your voice.
He's coughing from a fake cigarette that doesn't even actually smoke. He's still coughing. Why? I don't know. You tell me.
Many years you've kept me.
He isn't getting the 8K live viewers that he was getting 7 or 8 months ago. No, his views are way down. He can't break 4,000 now. He used to break 10,000. His views are in the shitter.
Many years you.
And this is all part of what I think is the karmic wheel. He's been scamming people for so long. You can only do that for so long before things come crashing down.
You've kept me saying much love. Great. And we're up to 2,800 views at only 30 minutes in, 28 minutes in. That's incredible. We're doing very, very well.
Yeah, he's trying to convince himself. Oh, we're still doing great. You're doing half the numbers you were a year ago, right?
And so, again,
David Wilcock has to have some kind of brain damage to believe any of this. Does he really know it's a lost cause, or is it going to hit him one day that he can't handle it?
You have, just like I have in my own life, if you want to look at the negative, you could say, oh my God, look at all these bad things that are going on. You know, in my case, I've been over $1 million in debt to the IRS for 4 years now. And it's just awful. But now that we've got deals coming in.
Over $1 million, yeah. Listen, if somebody invests in Stavatti Aerospace, they don't give you money to a company so that one of its board members can take $1 million and pay his back taxes off. That's not how this works, David Wilcock. That's not how any of this works. And HR is here, another expert. I'm an engineer. I was approached to start a research lab by an affiliate of Stavatti, sycophant of David Half-Cocked. Once I realized he was connected with Half-Cocked and Beskar, yeah, you bailed on the deal. I think you talked to me offline, but send me another message. We'd like to have you on the show, HR, and tell the inside story of that. There is another person that is speaking out against Stavatti. And David Wilcock, the voices of criticism are amplifying. They're becoming bolder. And as time goes on, more voices will be on the internet agreeing with my reporting on your shady, scammy company.
We're already in contact with them. We're going to work it all out. Hopefully I can get a discount on that. If not, I should be able to pay it anyway, but we're going to try to get a discount. And my God, to be able to pay my debts, and I mean, to live that much in debt. Imagine if you were $1 million in debt.
I would never become $1 million in debt. I'm too frugal. And I have an accountant for a wife. My wife is a literal accountant, which is kind of great. Like, I will say this about my marriage. There's only one time where I feel like we had a bad patch financially, but that was due to unforeseen circumstances. We moved to a new house and everything in the house started breaking. The washer, the dryer, the heater, the furnace went. You know, a furnace is like $8,000. So there was only one time we were a little cash shy, but we got through it with credit cards. And my wife did this zero interest dance. You ever do that? Like zero interest on a $10,000 credit card if you pay it off in 6 months. So we did that and we paid it off in the 6 months before the interest kicked in. But generally, my wife is very good with finances and budgeting. And, you know, we don't live at our means. We live well below our means. So we generally do very well. This moron lives above his means. He doesn't have the money to live in a millionaire's lifestyle, but he's trying to do it anyway. And every time he cries about being $1 million in debt to the IRS, what you have to know is he earned $3 million and spent it all and didn't pay his taxes, 3 or 4 million. You know, income tax is like 20% of your earnings. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. He made $5 million and he didn't pay income tax on 1 to 1.5 million in income tax. What happened to the $5 million, David? What did you spend $5 million on and not pay 1 point something million dollars worth of income tax? As if we're supposed to feel sorry for you because you got $5 million and kept it all, allegedly. I mean, you explain it. How do you owe the IRS $1 million? You owe the IRS $1 million because you didn't pay income tax on something like $4 or $5 million.
For 4 years. And you never know what's going to happen. And the threat profile is just ongoing, omnipresent. You can't really get out of it. You can't really get the money. And you're just buying time and you're just trying to survive.
He's just struggling to survive. He made $258,000 last year, friends. It was just barely enough to survive. There's a famous clip. Don't make me play it.
That's what my life has been like. So it's been really, really horrible. It's finally coming to an end, thank God. So this for me is an ascension. I can sit here in the chair knowing that my life is fine, knowing that none of the things that are going on are going to hurt me. All of them can be very easy and amicably resolved. No big deal. You know, there's no...
I owe $1 million to the IRS. It's no big deal.
No negative timeline for me. It's all very, very positive now.
Oh, he's trying to convince himself. What a cope. What a cope, friends. He is trying to convince himself that the alliance is real, says Macario.
I do believe the alliance is real. I know they are. I mean, we've seen far too much evidence. We are...
The evidence he saw that the alliance was real is Q-tard posts and a con artist told him about the alliance. That's the evidence that he says the alliance is real. Oh, and remember, he showed everybody those fake Intel coins, and he claimed that he was getting top secret briefings, and you can only get the coins if you're in a top secret briefing. And then we showed everybody you could buy those coins on Amazon or eBay. What a liar you are, Wilcock. What a con artist, scammer, liar you are, in my opinion. And I'm entitled to it. It's a very well-informed opinion based on all available evidence.
Seeing a plan unfold.
Yeah, trust a scam. I mean, plan. He's just repeating Q-tard nonsense.
I do believe the alliance is...
All right, he believes the alliance is real.
There's a lot... People say Angry Daddy is traumatized. Look, you can't listen to the trolls, you guys. There's people here, and all they're going to do is post constantly to try to undermine my comedy.
You don't have to work very hard to undermine your comedy. It's not funny. You suck at this. And by the way, somebody I trust who was friendly with Wilcock for a long time says that he got the idea to do all those characters, Galian and Angry Daddy, from watching my show, from my characters pieces that we've done many of. Dave, with a kind and generous £2, the one person you will always pay is the tax man. Absolutely. Absolutely. You can't get away with it. You have to pay. But thank you and praise the cash.
Ra commands you to bow down and praise the cash.
I narrowly avoid divorce every April, right? Because my wife's an accountant, and this year I think she's got me. She's starting to train me better. You know, like I used to put aside 20%. Now I put aside 25%, so that by the end of the year I got even more than I have to pay Uncle Sam in there. I got a little bit of a buffer, and yeah. Because a couple of times I forgot to put the 20% aside and I was a little short, and my wife got up very upset with me. The one person you always pay is the tax man. Absolutely. Wilcock launched Original Q, Drake Kent Bailey. Well, he helped for sure, right? It's just one of those things.
If you were in front of an audience, everybody's laughing when I do Angry Daddy. I already know that because I've already done it.
No, people are saying how cringeworthy it is. You're terrible at characters.
I think We Are the Sizzle Alliance is
He took an acting class and he thought he could suddenly do characters.
Dean Donnelly. Yeah, so it's good. You know, everything's good. And again, we don't really care about a few very sad children who don't like the show.
Yeah, he doesn't care. That's why he's calling people child predators, Satan worshipers, terrorists, thieves. People are issuing death threats because he doesn't really care. Cope harder, bitch. Cope harder, you sad, bitter, angry little grifter bitch. Cope harder, bitch.
And just want to be here. They're allowed to be here. Negative is allowed to be here. They inspire movement and growth through.
But they're not allowed to be here. He pays an 8-person team to get rid of them. He just lied to his audience. They're allowed to be here. Then don't pay an 8-person team to make an echo chamber for your moron followers. Let people have their opinions. And if they think you're full of it, let them say that you're full of it. And why? The negative, they're allowed to be here. If they were allowed to be here, you wouldn't need an 8-person team to get rid of anybody that disagrees with you, because you are a sad little bitch whose so-called information is so piss poor it can withstand no debate. You have to have you and 8 other people, according to your own claims, deleting all of the negative or nasty comments or critical comments, because you are an intellectual weakling and a coward and a bitch.
Invading our free will. They only work for a certain time, and they're plucked out one by one like the weeds in the biblical metaphor.
Yeah, or by your moderators, they're plucked out. I can't believe they said that. The negative are allowed to be here. Well, then why are you paying people to stop the negative from being there?
Yeah, Nanasani, is Chris coming on your show anytime soon? We are trying to get that set up. He just got
Yeah, let's have the fake company CEO on.
back. I haven't even spoken to him since he was on this trip. Wow, we got a lot of trolls today. So
he just said he doesn't care and that they're allowed to be here. Remember, he just said he doesn't care and the negative are allowed to be here. Listen to him now. Oh, we got a lot of trolls this week.
clearly I'm over the target. I checked your X account. It shows you have 172,000 followers. Thank you, Angela Chartrand. So yeah, if you got 172,000 followers and you can only get 5,000 views, that's very, very bizarre.
No, it's not. That's about normal. And I can prove it. If I go to my own Twitter, I have, let's see. I have 8,500 followers. I post a video. This is Spooky's excellent video. Oh, wait a minute. Let me share this tab. So I have 8,500 followers. I post a video and I only got 1,600 views. So, what is the percentage? It's not very good, unless you boost posts. Look right here. Reach up to 100,000 more users now. Promote. And by the way, I may start doing that. I may have to. I don't want to, but I may start doing that. So he doesn't even know how Twitter works. He's claiming that he's, under deep state attack, and that's why his posts aren't getting the reach. That's normal. They want you to boost posts. And by the way, David Wilcock does boost posts. He spends a lot of money trying to boost his posts to morons.
That's very, very bizarre. So I'm aware that this is not real. I'm aware that there is an effort being made to try to make it look like I'm blown out, that I don't have the following that I used to have. It's not true. The numbers are totally skewed. We're at 3122 right now, which again, for a live stream, that's incredible. I think during the summer, maybe we have fewer people show up, but I don't even want to try to explain this. I just don't think it's real.
He doesn't think his post reach is real. Another cope. This whole stream of this last week has been one big cope by Wilcock.
I think the numbers are not actually being accurately represented, but that's okay. Okay, so here's another one. We got lots of great stuff going on.
He just removed somebody that said something he didn't like. I thought he said that the negative were allowed to be here as he's deleting them. Okay.
Stylized heraldic knot.
David is a royal, and the crop circles are all made to send him a message, says Macario.
Which does indicate a royal lineage. And again, part of what I've been going through here is the idea that I have the same face as Edgar Cayce, the same astrology.
No, you don't.
And Cayce was a psychic who had omniscient intelligence when he was unconscious.
Yeah.
Same sort of thing.
Why don't you have it?
Michael Prophecies.
You don't have the same
but
gifts.
I did it consciously. The Cayce readings told him that one of his past lives was the biblical King David.
Yeah, so David is like, oh, I'm royalty. I'm a king. This is how delusional he is. I was Edgar Cayce in a past life, and Edgar Cayce was King David in a past life, and also an Egyptian high priest in a past life. Like, talk about delusions of grandeur, right? This is all signs of mental illness, friends, in my opinion.
Whoever's making these circles is very, very excited about the fact that I have not succumbed to the pressure, to all the attacks, the death threats, the terrorism that I'm constantly being subjected to, even here in the comments.
Yeah, they're not death threats. Did you hear that? Let's play that back. According to David Wilcock, mean comments in his live chat, he interprets that as a death threat, as terrorism. Listen to him.
The pressure, to all the attacks, the death threats, the terrorism that I'm constantly being subjected to, even here in the comments. Terrorism is omnipresent in my life. It's just part of the deal.
People saying mean things in his live chat or on his Twitter is terrorism. He just admitted it publicly. People that disagree with him on the internet is terrorism to him.
It is going to scare people away, but the right people will stick around. So I'm here for a mission. I'm doing the mission. I'm not going to be deterred from it. And again, the heraldic knot does appear to partially symbolize King David. Because again, this is...
The aliens are sending me a message in the crop circles, bitch! How about that? The aliens are sending me, King David, messages in the crops, bitch!
It's talking about royalty squaring the circle. It's so interestingly connected with everything that we've just been talking about.
Oh my God, he's delusional. I love it.
Michael Larson says, David, do you believe the Galactic Federation is responsible for many of the crop circles?
The Galactic Federation. Yo, when people hear I do a show on UFOs or aliens, I basically like tune out. Do you know how many people have talked to me like in the real world? Like, oh, what do you think of the Galactic Federation? It's fake. It's made up nonsense. But David doesn't think so.
Well, again, everybody has a different idea about what that is. In the Law of One, it's actually called the Confederation of Planets in Service of the One Infinite Creator. There's lots of disinfo out there that tries to make you afraid of a galactic federation. Michael Larson says, you're doing an amazing job. Thank you so much. Wow, we're just getting constantly attacked. Thank you, guys. Our customer service team, you're doing an amazing job.
What I thought the negative were allowed to be here, David, you hypocrite. Oh, that's right. You're not manly enough to withstand mean comments, right? Like all I can relate to is my own experience. Like, I don't think anything could make me hire one person, let alone an 8-person team, to delete every, person that disagrees with me. Stormcrow says, Wilcock was a snake oil salesman in a past life and one in this life too. That's correct. Yeah. What a bitch. I have to hire 8 people to delete all the comments I don't like that are mean. They're so mean. They're so mean. They're saying I'm not a prophet and my stories are bullshit.
you have to keep fighting the whole time. They're never going to stop.
You're right, David. It's only going to get worse. It's going to get worse and worse and worse.
And again, it shows you somebody is paying them and they really don't like what I have to say because it's going to ruin the control of negative elites on this planet.
Yeah. Oh, the negative elites on this planet. You mean like you? You're a fucking millionaire and you're conning people on disability checks out of their money. I would consider that to be a negative elite. You are the negative elite. What have you done with your power and your fame and your money and your influence? You have conned people, scammed people over and over and over again. Negative elite, my ass.
Which is really, really dazzling. Let's just make sure.
Oh, here we go. The trolls really got to him in this stream. And Macario says, good job, everyone.
Wow, yeah, we've never had so many trolls as we do today. So right now I'm looking, there's 6 trolls that have hit.
Suffer, David Wilcock. That's only 6. There are 600 more. There are 6,000 more. There are 600,000 more. We have so many more arrows, Mr. Wilcock. There are so many more arrows in the quiver of karmic justice, and they are all coming for you, Mr. Wilcock.
Just in the time that it's on screen. So thank you, customer service team. They're more angry at us and they're putting more people on this show, which is fine. We don't care.
Hey, David Wilcock really thinks that people are paying. Somebody is paying the trolls to say that he's a grifter or a con artist or a liar. He really thinks that somebody's paying them, including me.
People on this show, which is fine. We don't care.
Yeah, and by the way, David Wilcock is very concerned with who's paying me. It's all of you. So all of you are part of the conspiracy. You're all getting the death penalty too, right?
Which is really, really dazzling.
Oh, sorry, we just did that one. Next.
And I will defend you, sir.
Midnight Mark making David feel good. He hates that his views are lower.
Love Midnight Mark. We're now at 3,527. It'll never go above 4,000. We already know that. Doesn't matter.
It'll never go above 4,000 again. We are slowly chipping away at your grift, David. Every week we chip a few more morons off of your show. Every week we save a few more of your damaged disciples. And I know that because my email box is full of David Wilcock's former believers who are now what I call the damaged disciples. And they're coming to truth seekers to learn the truth about you, David Wilcock.
What is going on? It's just going to stay around there. That's okay. I accept it. You know, I just laugh about it. That's all you can do.
He does. He hates that his views are lower. And they're going to get lower and lower and lower as time goes on. It's just going to get worse, David. Or better, depending on your point of view. I think it's better that you have less viewers, less people to scam, less people to con out of money for your fake angel prophecies.
How about July 1st, David? I thought you said something big was happening on July 1st. I mean, honestly, look, I don't know when these things are going to happen. No.
He just said, I don't know when these things are going to happen. He spent 2 years telling us that Ascension is coming by May of 2025, and then it doesn't happen. So now he's saying, oh, I don't know when these things are going to happen, right? Okay. Well, then you're not a prophet, and you're not talking to angels.
No one knoweth the hour nor the day. But yes, exciting things are happening left and right. And again, Mike.
Yeah, exciting things like David Wilcock is getting hauled into court. That's exciting. And I'm going to be on the phone call and get to listen to it all, David Wilcock, and report on what happened as you grovel in court.
Michael flagged equinoxes 1 and 2, which would be September 22nd.
Okay. So he's saying he doesn't know when this stuff is going to happen. I thought he said he knew when it was going to happen. And that's the point of selling the books, right? Now he doesn't really know what is going to happen, and his followers fault for thinking that. It's not like he tells everyone he is a prophet. It's most likely. Now Ascension is coming in September. So he needed 4 more months to grift off of his morons before he's going to give this scam up and move on to a new one.
Boxes 1 and 2 illustrate the theater thing is coming into full bloom. Superior hands on deck facilitate transitions that have been made. Secret vital terms in knowing the self, coming from innate understandings of divinity and selfhood. So again, why does he say theater? Well, it's like a theatrical, it's like a movie, right? That's what the Alliance said. Grab your popcorn.
This is like a movie. Yeah, grab your popcorn and watch the tremendous feltoning of David Wilcock as his grift comes crashing and smashing down around him, and reality comes to smack him in the face, and I'm here for it.
Enjoy the show. It is going to be like a movie. So the entire theater thing is coming into full bloom. Well, that would imply that the Alliance's efforts will have led to very big events by the end of September of this year. And I think that's true.
You said it was going to happen by the end of May. What kind of a prophet are you if you have to move the goalpost? Oh, you're a fake prophet. Then that makes sense. It doesn't make sense that a real prophet would make a prediction like May of 2025, and then when it doesn't happen, a real prophet would move the goalpost to September. But you know what does make sense? A fake prophet would do that. A fake prophet and a scammer and a con artist and a grifter would definitely do that to give themselves more time to grift. Just hope nobody remembers that you said May 1st. Now you're saying September. And I guarantee, friends, when it doesn't happen in September, he's going to move it to December to give himself the last few months. But by January 1st, 2026, even David Wilcock's most moronic, stupid as rocks, dumb as dirt followers will know that he's been lying to them for years, and this was all a money-grabbing scam.
So again, we're all kind of waiting for them to release information. We've been hearing about these arrests. We're like, when are you guys going to do it? It's been very frustrating. It's frustrating for me too, because I don't really know what's going to happen. You guys.
He's supposed to be a prophet, communicating with angels who are telling him when these things are going to happen. Now he's saying, I don't really know when it's going to happen. I think September now. Just keep sending me money like morons.
You guys think I know? I don't. I mean, I'm just trying to read into what Michael is telling us, but we don't really know. However, I don't think it's going to be very much longer. I really do expect that you're going to see some powerful things. And again, this crazy attack that just happened with the 40 planes being blown.
Oh, yeah. Bring that up. Bring in real-world events as signs of the coming prophecies coming true. They didn't come true in May. They're not coming true in September or December. This year will end, and there will be, David Wilcock, no mass arrests. This year will end, and there will be no open extraterrestrial ET contact, no disclosure. This year will end, and there will be no ascension. And then what are you going to do? Are you going to admit that you were wrong about all of it and give everybody their money back from the last 2 or 3 years of grifting off of this fake prophecy shit that you said was going to happen in 2025?
Up. That's the kind of stuff that pushes things into a scary direction, but the scary stuff might get us to the finish line even faster. So yeah, we're probably going to have some type of global dark night of the soul.
Oh yeah. The mass arrest, the internet outage. Yeah.
It's going to look worse. It's going to look scary before
how many times are you going to
we actually get the arrest. That's most likely how it's going to go down.
It's not
going
going
to be
down.
A time of great turmoil. People who haven't been paying attention.
Mass arrests are not going down, but David Wilcock and his grift is going down, friends.
People who aren't awake yet, they're going to be really freaked out, and you're going to need to help them calm down, let them know, look, this is okay. It's not as bad as you think it is. Everything's going to be fine. I highly recommend that you get ready for that now.
Yeah, buy my books.
He says the stage is now set. That would imply the arrest, the disclosure, and the cosmic family reunion. And he told me to capitalize the word.
Yeah, the angel's very concerned with punctuation because that makes sense, right?
And she is one of the levitating saints.
Okay, September 22nd, David is going to levitate, says Macario.
So this may indicate that we will become levitating saints as we go through this change scheduled for the next equinox.
And that's September 22nd. So the next time we get to stomp all over David Wilcock's balls again is going to be on September 22nd. I'm going to be live stomping all over David Wilcock's nuts and laughing at him for his fake, stupid psychic predictions and for scamming people for these fake books full of fake prophecies. I'm going to be live on September 22nd on the equinox, or maybe September 23rd, the day after, right? Maybe we should do it the day after. He sounds like DSP begging for money. At least he don't snort, says Joseph Soda. Yeah, well, thank you for that.
Praise the cash, praise the cash, praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash, praise the cash.
All right, let's continue.
Which again is September 22nd.
September 22nd. Great. So September 23rd, I'll be live stomping on his nuts again and telling everybody what a con artist he is.
It's going to lead to ascension, and the alliance
The delusion is amazing, says Macario.
controls this. That's why if 47 can make this deal, I'm just kind of like the middleman with Archangel Michael and these higher beings. I don't really know what they're thinking. They only tell me certain things in these times. If 47 can cut that deal.
Oh, now Trump is involved in this whole thing with David Wilcock.
With the higher forces and bring about ascension, then he is the greatest deal maker of all time. And he posted a couple things this week that again show me, yeah, he's very into this. And
he's not into this. He doesn't know who you are. He doesn't care who you are. His family probably would laugh about you saying this shit.
And he would be a fool to not take this deal that they're offering him. And, you know, my life is being used to create this deal. So I do believe the deal is going to be taken. I really do.
And when there is no deal and nothing happens, what are you going to do, David Wilcock? You're just going to come up with a new scam. I heard you were joining the Hidden Plain Sight podcast, says Winner.
March 27, 1999 is extremely relevant, extremely personal.
He was finally told to shut up.
But I've been asked not to talk about the legal stuff, so I will honor that. I'm not going to.
He's terrified of Gaia TV. They said that he's been flapping his gums too much in the recent court filings and told the judge that he is telling people false information. Remember, David Wilcock famously said, I'm not going to have to give a deposition. The case is being settled. Well, there was a settlement conference, but no settlement was reached. So David Wilcock is lying to his audience, and he's literally been caught spreading false information, fake information, disinformation. And that was outlined in the recent court filing. Gaia TV complained that he was spreading false information about the court case to his Dumb as Rocks followers. So now he's going to shut up about it.
If I did talk about it, they'd probably get mad. But it was brilliant. It was amazing. Anyway, that's fine.
That's fine. It's not fine, David. Tick-tock. That deposition is coming, and we're going to get it, and we're going to bring it to the audience.
I was in a laboratory, scientific environment.
He's dreaming of a comic book. That would be great. I knew he would say that Stavatti got a deal when they were in Vegas.
I met this kid who had been playing guitar at my dad's blues jam. He called me up and wanted to hang out in person. He said, call me Wilcock, etc. It turned out that he was a comic book artist, and he, along with one other person and myself, were going to make a comic book.
Kind of like Corey Good.
Well, as I said right here yesterday, most of you can probably guess who the comic book artist is, but I won't be more specific. Then there was another kid who was more of a scientist. He had won awards for what he had done, and his work had been published. We were trying to work on him making a magazine with cartoons.
Could you imagine making all these slides, right?
This is clearly a reference to Chris Beskar, describes our own company's recent appearance
clearly
at the Air Dominance Summit, where we won a subsequently successful aerospace deal.
Yeah, and John Christian Spadavaccius says they did not get an award, and David mistakenly thinks that this $1 trillion non-military deal originated from what was purely a military event.
We were handing out line cards that looked like pictures out of a magazine, and there may be other layers of meaning here as well. Again, the idea is Stavatti did get a big award, but...
You didn't get an award. And John is correct. The conference that David claims they got this $1 trillion deal at, which he claims is for non-military purposes, was a military aircraft summit. It had nothing to do with commercial airliners. So how or why would a commercial airline investor come to that summit, find Stavatti, and then give them $1 trillion? that's how we know this is all fake. There's so many holes in this fake story of his.
Another layer of meaning is the alliance's victory.
Oh, the fake alliance again. Yeah.
The idea being that, yes, the alliance is going to win out. They are going to create the outcome that we desire. This directly leads to a human ET mass contact event because, again, disclosure is much bigger than you think.
Oh, really?
It's very, very interesting when you get down into the core of it and you find out that in underground and off-planet bases, there are ETs that are already working with humans from Earth.
Okay, do you have any proof of this? Or is this just more bullshit stories like Corey Good's secret space adventures that you sold morons on the internet for, what, 8 years, 5 years? I don't know.
Everybody at a certain level of classification knows this. I've met 40 or 50 different insiders who've had very...
Yes, and let's review some of his insiders. A senile con artist, a court-martialed child molester, and then there was Corey Good was another one of his insiders that turned out he was making up all of his stories. He made all the stories up. The stories weren't true, right? Oh, you gotta love the delusional world of Wilcock.
Pieces of it in person. Most people don't get this. These insiders have been threatened so much that nobody is talking out anymore. That's why we don't keep getting new insiders anymore.
No, David Wilcock doesn't keep using insiders because every time he does, he gets caught that his insiders are fakes and frauds.
And when they do come out, they're being treated horribly. They're being attacked horribly online.
Oh, who's he talking about? Grush?
I feel really bad for the guys who've come out more recently, like David Grush.
Yeah, he had no evidence. He deserved to be attacked as a scam artist, just like you, Wilcock.
They've just been very, very badly mistreated.
Yeah, it's been 2 years, and David Grush has provided no evidence whatsoever. No evidence at all of his out-of-this-world claims.
So first of all, Michael comes in with some interesting readings, and so I wanted to give you those.
Michael, the Archangel Michael. Because, yeah, it makes sense that the Archangel Michael would be communicating with David Wilcock and then telling him to sell those communications to morons on the internet for $333.
Didn't even realize this was in here. I had to go back and look. Oh, there's a reading in there. New system, check. Need, check. So sure enough, as soon as we get the check we need deposited in our bank account, which is apparently going to happen very soon.
Oh, yeah, the money's coming any day now.
We will then be able to build new systems. So this perfectly predicts the idea that we're about to get a new check and that it will build us new systems. Daniela Romero, thank you very much. See if I missed anybody else.
Talk about delusional. I wrote some shit down in 1999, and it's from an angel. That means we're getting a big check.
Yep, we're still holding true at just under 3,700. It's not going to go above 4,000 ever again. That's okay. I'm fine with it.
Yep. Your morons are leaving you, David. That's pretty bad. Even the morons think you're a con artist and a liar now.
I know that you guys...
Well, a good portion of them do.
Are all here anyway. We want to make sure that we hadn't overloaded your circuits. And indeed, I felt very overloaded by events in the recent past, but now it's all good.
Oh, yeah.
Synchronicities happened
Everything's great now.
Past week that defied all comprehension and have totally dismissed my fears about anything. And again, the main thing is getting the deal and the new check. We need the check.
You're never getting the check, David. The check is never coming. Stavatti is scamming you just like they scammed the other investor out of $1 million.
Come up with a great science project that was...
Macario says, I hope he isn't just scamming with Beskar. I hope that he believes all of this BS. It would make it so much funnier. David Wilcock is going to help Elon Musk. His followers are not just sad and lonely, they are retards. I do love how he's saying it's possible the deep state will stop the deal. Yeah, so he has an out when none of this happens.
Winning him some acclaim. And this, again, was prophetic of us. Our first contract, I found out from Chris that 1,500 units of an airliner or any type of airplane is basically the biggest volume contract since 1965 in aerospace. That's the first deal we got.
Yeah, you didn't get the deal because you didn't get the money. You know when the deal is done? When you deposit the check and the funds are good and available. You haven't gotten the check. You're getting scammed, Wilcock, just like the other investor who invested $1 million said he got scammed. You're never getting your money back. 1,500 airplanes. Go ask anybody in the aerospace industry. How long would it take your company, and I don't care who it is, Lockheed Martin, Boeing, Northrop Grumman, go ask any CEO of a big aerospace company, how long would it take to manufacture 1,500 commercial airliners? Well, we saw in one example, it took Boeing 54 years to do that. But Wilcock is a moron and thinks they're just going to produce 1,500 airplanes like magic, right? I guess out of a portal or something, or the aliens are going to help, and then they'll have $1 trillion. Sure.
And so even if somehow the DS is able to throw it off, it doesn't matter because we've been accredited and other deals are coming in right after that. So
there are no other deals.
My life is truly turning into a fairy tale. Michael has guided this. I went through 4 years of poverty. I've been there with
he lives he's been in poverty in he's been in $1 million mansion for 4 years. Could you imagine the audacity and the balls it takes to go on a public live stream while you've been living in a multi-million-dollar mansion for 4 years and say, I've been living in poverty for 4 years? You don't know poverty, David Wilcock. You've never known poverty. That's part of your problem.
You in the bankruptcy. We've gone through this together. When I get these projects going, you're going to have a hover car.
I call bullshit. There will be no hover cars. There will be no 1,500 commercial airliners. There will be no hover cars. There will be no free energy engines. There will be no military aircraft. There will be no trainer aircraft. There will be no rocket ships or spaceships. This is all just David Wilcock's land of make-believe. And none of this is ever going to happen, Mr. Wilcock.
You're going to have the ability to travel into space. And we want to mass produce these, and that could be...
Now the hover car can fly in space somehow. He never said that one before. This is the mark of a pathological liar. As time goes on, the lies have to continue to be amplified and get more and more grandiose in order for interest in the lies to continue. If you just have been lying for years, telling the same lie, it's not going to work to keep people on the hook. You have to keep giving people more lies and more grand lies, right? And by the way, Cliff High, who's one of the people that Corey Goode sued for saying that his secret space Buck Rogers adventures were fake and lost, the case got dismissed, just posted a Substack sent to me by John Christian Stavatti. Thanks for that, John. Who is speaking on this very issue of how the lies have to get more grand and more grand. And he's trashing David Wilcock and Corey Goode and Kerry Cassidy and Mark Richards and others. Let's play the clip.
The pathological liars, I don't know that they're pathological, but the liars and buttheads, Corey Goode and David Wilcock, have to keep escalating their stories. And that's why when, like with David Wilcock, when his Ascension scam crashes, he's done this Ascension scam twice. This is the third time, and supposedly everybody was supposed to ascend like on May 26th or something. Yeah, it was last month, so we passed his deadline. So this will be the third crash of his Ascension scam. And after each crash, he has a lag time. So after the 2012, when everybody was supposed to ascend and nobody did, he had a lag time and he disappeared for a while. So I'm expecting that sort of thing will occur, right? And this is why Corey Goode always had to keep having greater and greater adventures in his stupid-ass stories that he was spewing, right? And why he kept having to aggrandize himself even further was because in order to get the same level of response, you've got to increase the pressure once there already is pressure on the system, so to speak, right? This is also why Kerry Cassidy's convicted murderer, Mark Richards, who's not a captain and was never in any secret space program, and whose grandfather was never a secret space program guy for Lincoln or any of the other horse shit. That's why he has to keep escalating his stories to keep her hooked, is because after the dopamine rush of her hearing one story, that you can't repeat the story and get the same level of dopamine rush in the brain. And that's what these guys are counting on.
So interesting. Yeah, and I disagree with Cliff High on many, many things, but I agree with him on how this grift works. Remember, when Wilcock first started talking about deals Stavatti was getting, it was in the millions. Then he started talking about billions. Now he's saying they got a deal for almost $1 trillion. He has to keep upping the ante of the lies and make them more grand and more amazing, because people have already heard the millions, and that didn't happen and that didn't work. Then he starts talking about, oh, we're going to get $1 billion of investment. Now he's up to 883 billion or 823 billion, whatever. Almost $1 trillion he's saying his company is getting. He has to keep making the lie bigger to keep the morons on the hook.
Bigger than World War II, bigger than the Manhattan Project, a huge, huge economic stimulus. And yes, I would love to help out Elon and his company Tesla. I'm not in competition with him.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to probably need him for all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, he's going to work with Elon Musk, just like Donald Trump is going to give him a job in the Trump administration as the ambassador to the aliens, right? He said that before, too. Now he's going to work with Elon Musk and Donald Trump.
And we can collaborate.
Talk about delusional.
And the more companies are working on this, the faster we can get back into space. So I don't look at this as a competition like, No, I'm not competitive. That's not what this is about. So this clearly shows how we just got funded. He won out at the science fair. And again, we just won this massive deal.
I had a dream. A guy won a science fair. It must have been Stavatti.
Then Michael says, everybody get the stones and exit. And I think here the stones represent part of the anatomy.
Testicles. Why does David Wilcock's readings all involve penises and testicles? Could that be repressed homosexuality, maybe? Why does he keep dreaming about testicles and cocks? He's dreaming about testicles and cocks, friends.
Having that part of you, having the bees to stand up to evil. So everybody on Earth has to get the stones, and they have to exit this trauma loop that we have with our oppressors. Reveal your withdrawal from society over time instead of taking it as a monumental occasion meant to be squared off all at once by the elect few.
Oh.
How weird that they meant
only the elect few if you buy his course.
Squared off, and they drew a squared circle in the crops right at the same time that we're about to unseal this.
Oh, sure. What a clear prophecy. Clearly, this is a prophecy, right? Oh, this is interesting. We can now see how Stephen is using the weather to attack Wilcock. David, let me see. You are right where we are supposed to be. David, are you worried? That is how Stephen is able to do weather attacks on David, says Uncle Andy. Okay.
Yeah, I think that there's a very interesting future in store for me. I'm not worried about anything anymore.
You better start worrying, David, because your troubles are just beginning.
Michael has lined up these brilliant deals. The first deal is 1,500 aircraft. I mean, holy crap. We didn't know if we would ever get a deal for 1,500 aircraft.
Yeah, go ask an aerospace executive how long it would take them to manufacture 1,500 airliners. It took Boeing 54 years, David Wilcock. You should, Google some stuff before you tell big lies like this, you moron.
That's like a gigantic deal. So, right out of the gate, we won something that shouldn't even have happened. I mean, they were never going to let anybody from the swamp.
Because it didn't happen.
Chris went in there by himself, and he won that deal. And it's absolutely incredible.
You mean a fake deal?
Are coming.
Great.
So,
you want a fake deal?
Yes. The main reason we're trying to do this, and again, this was a non-military deal. It's only airliners. We're going to use that money to break out all of these Area 51 technologies and get them to you. Because I was afraid that if I didn't do this myself, that it would never happen. People would keep getting killed or threatened or blackmailed or compromised, and it just would never, ever occur. And so even my trolls will be able to get hover cars.
Oh, good.
And so you might not like me now, but you're probably still going to want a hover car once we have them, won't you? Yeah, I think you will.
Delusional. What a delusional man he is. And I apologize. Somebody is reminding me that I haven't checked in with the Kick chat, so I sincerely apologize. This multi-streaming is a little difficult sometimes. We want to thank Scopely CFO for being in the Kick Live chat. Good Goy is in the live chat. Blazing Mad is over there. Winter Soldier is over there. Mr. Ree is over there. Let me see here. And let me check just to make sure. For those unaware, we read every we thank every person who becomes a subscriber on Kick during the live broadcast or gifts a sub during the live broadcast. And we want to thank Community Watch, who just subscribed over on Kick. Yes! And we want to thank Mystery, great user ID, who subscribed on Kick. And not even while I was broadcasting, but Clydesdale became a subscriber on Kick. Thank you. And on my birthday, we had a couple of people that became subscribers. Blood Wolf 82 and Jake Raz all become subscribers recently on Kick. So thank you for your kindness, your generosity, and your support of the show. It is much, much appreciated. Thank you, Kick viewers, for helping us to praise the cash.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
We are praising it. So David Wilcock, man, what a delusional fairy tale world he lives in. And Spooky reminding everybody, I'm ready to start editing. And I'm ready for Spooky to start editing. But the problem is the financial end. So we're trying to get the Truth Seekers Clips channels monetized. I'm just going to put it in the Kick chat as well. Please subscribe to our new Clips channel on YouTube so that we can get Spooky to work. And I've pinned it in the Kick live chat. It's pinned in the YouTube live chat. If you're listening on Twitch or on Twitter, just go on over to YouTube and put Truth Seekers Clips, one word. Truth Clips, one word. Which, there you go. I apologize for that. We got knocked out of our own live stream. It must be a deep state attack, I swear. Let me just catch up with the live chat here. I apologize. And it is official, friends. We are switching back to our old software. I cannot have these tech issues constantly here on our show. And the software provider has done nothing to fix these problems. I assure you it's not on my end. We have a ridiculous PC I'm streaming on. Great. Deep State Agent with a kind and generous $9.99. Thank you very much. Very generous of you. Says, great. Now that Wilcock is a trillionaire, he's going to become part of the deep state, along with the likes of Bill Gates and Elon Musk. Our agents will all be out of jobs. All of our weather weapons wasted. Yes.
Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your generosity. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
Thank you, Deep State Agent. And John is here and says, please mention that since David knows no one wants to do business with Stavatti, he now says Archangel Michael is doing the deals. This is a descent into madness. It absolutely is. It's so ridiculous. An angel is getting them deals to make airplanes. Why would an angel do that, right? Stormcrow says, must have been the hacker that keeps attacking Wilcock. Some kid named Steve, I think. Yes. Yes. And Otherworld Lee is sharing our Truth Seekers Clips channel on X. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So if you're listening on X, it's youtube.com// Truth Seekers Clips. Let's get that channel monetized. Spooky needs the work, and I need the money to pay Spooky. So, we're going to do like a nice deal. Spooky will get paid. I'll get paid. We'll all get paid right? We can't all just scam morons like David Wilcock. We have to provide real content. I'm not worried about anything, says David Wilcock.
Through eternal youth.
There is a clip where he mentions me and accuses me of all kinds of stuff. It's coming up. Somebody asked in the live chat. I believe we have heard David Wilcock say this before. A working prototype within a year.
Through eternal youth. How can I order a hover car early? Well, until we actually have the funding lined up, we can't sell them.
Oh, really? David Wilcock says, until we have the funding lined up and the hover cars built, we can't sell them. But that's not accurate. Ha ha! Suffer, David Wilcock. Caught you in another lie. This is too easy. How easy is it to catch David Wilcock in lies? Hold on. Let's hear him say that again.
Through eternal youth. How can I order a hover car early? Well, until we actually have the funding lined up, we can't sell them.
We can't sell them. John pointing out, I'm glad you got the clip of David saying Stavatti can't pre-sell hover cars, because according to their own fucking lawyer and court filings, that is exactly what they already did. Pretty soon, Stavatti's attorney is going to tell David to shut the fuck up, just like Gaia has. Here we go. Represented defendants admit that plaintiff made a $1 million loan to Stavatti Aerospace, but deny the referred promissory note was signed or authorized by the company. Represented defendants acknowledge the quoted section of the website. The company's business model is to generate revenue through the design and production of aircraft, and that's what it does. It has produced revenue, for example, through pre-sales of the hovercraft, which it has not yet produced, and its customers understand that. Oh, David Wilcock, we caught you lying again. Let's go back to that.
Through eternal youth. How can I order a hover car early? Well, until we actually have the funding lined up, we can't sell them.
Oh, but your attorney admitted that you did sell them. You did pre-sales of hover cars. It's in the court documents. You're taking money from people for a device that does not even exist.
But yeah, we're hoping that we'll have a working prototype within 1 year. We've already got our machine shop picked out. Who's going to build it? We know how to build it. We
know how to build it. Then show us a prototype. What's taking so long?
Have plans.
We have plans. They have nothing. They're never going to build a hover car, friends. He is just so damn weird calling himself that, says Macario.
All right, so then the next dream that we have is also about the arrests. But before we do that, I really do need to go to the bathroom. Are you guys okay? Let's just ask the audience. Are you okay if Daddy goes to the bathroom for a few minutes?
I think that his bathroom breaks are fake. I think that what really happens is that David Wilcock has the plow guy or somebody else standing by with a strap on, and he takes a few minute break to get pegged. That's what I think is happening here, right? He's taking a pegging break. Oh, let's go to the next one. How much more? Jesus, we got a lot this week. This got to him, says Macario.
David, are you funded? Why do I see something about a video court date next month for you? I'm worried. It's all fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry about that. I don't know where you saw that, but we do have haters, and they probably are. Anyway.
The haters are right. You have a court date scheduled for July 1st where you have to appear in court about the subpoena that you have not done what you were supposed to do on in the Gaia versus Corey Good lawsuit.
Not going to talk about it, but it's all fine and good. So anyway, I do need...
It's all fine that you have to go to court and you may have to pay court costs and attorney's fees because you're wasting the plaintiff's attorney's time on these subpoenas that you're not fulfilling what they subpoenaed you for. It's not all fine, David. You're fucked. David Wilcock is fucked.
To go to the restroom. That's fine.
I got to go for my pegging break.
But yeah, there's going to be stuff online. You can see whatever you can see. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, look at that bald spot. Holy jeez. His hair is trying to escape what's left of it.
The minute that we have some aerospace deals come in, I can just pay this off, which will be great, because then I won't have any debt.
David Wilcock thinks that not only is somebody investing money in Stavatti going to allow him to pay his $1 million of IRS taxes, but also pay off the loan on his multi-million-dollar log cabin mansion. That's not how this works, David. That's not how any of this works.
And that'll make my monthly expenses a lot less anyway. And so therefore, whatever happens, I've already got that. I don't really want to live here all year anymore, though. This is very, very rough. You're at 8,600 foot altitude.
Yeah, it's very rough living in a multi-million-dollar mansion in the mountains of Colorado with the beautiful scenery. And yeah, it's very rough. It's tough, you know.
You've got snow, you've got intensity, you've got wind. We have 8 months of winter a year. We had snow.
Yeah, I have 8 months of winter a year at my cabin. Like, for example, this past weekend, you know, it's June. It was 45 at night. I still have to have a fire to stay warm in the cabin. Not a big fire. I have a little one, but still.
Just like a couple weeks ago, not even. And we've had wind. It's just kept on going.
I thought those were weather weapons, though, not natural, David.
It's really, really wearing me down. You know, honestly, like living here is just really hard.
It's really hard. It's really hard to live in a multi-million-dollar mansion. It's really hard, friends. Really hard to live in a mansion.
The minute that we have...
Oh, sorry. Next one.
At the end, it was getting towards Christmas.
Yeah, this is great. He's backpedaling on all his prophecies now that are already written in all the books. Macario says, so are the prophecies, but they might not happen, and Wilcock is just trying to interpret what the voices in his head are telling him. This month, major things are happening, but who knows? And Macario says he's just guessing now.
These books that
he's been just guessing.
One of the books was about a baby seal. There was a number on the book. I was able to calculate from the number how quick Christmas was coming because it said how many days into the month it was before Christmas. Oh, this is still... I haven't even had time to take that bad comma out because this was machine transcribed.
Oh yeah, the comma is
Adobe
important.
Premiere, and I didn't actually have time to fix everything.
So accurate.
I just unsealed this last September, even though it was from '99. It was
unsealed it. He played tapes of himself talking to the voices in his head to himself. That's unsealing to David Wilcock. He's unsealing him talking to himself and talking to the voices in his head. Tom says, I hope he starts having conversations with the baby seals.
Unreviewed for 25, maybe even 26, 25 years. So, again, if you really look at what this is saying, it could predict that there are major alliance actions coming up sometime this month.
Well, you said that Ascension was coming last month and the mass arrests were coming and none of that happened. So I'm betting none of this shit is going to happen either. Because David Wilcock is gay and bald and broke and he's the world's worst psychic.
How many days into the month will it be before Christmas? Well, I have my own Christmas coming up, which is when we actually get the money from the first deals that we have signed. Okay, that's one thing. That's my Christmas. But everybody else's Christmas is a lot more important. And so could it be that sometime in the month of June that major things are going to happen? That's kind of what Michael is implying, that we're going to see some big moves.
Give himself wiggle room. Well, Michael was only implying that. I misread the prophecy. That's why it didn't happen.
Forward. And how many days into the month is it before Christmas? So that made me very excited. That's what I think. You know, this is a symbolic language.
All his teeth are fake.
You always have to decipher symbology. There are different opinions. My opinion is not a fact. It's just my best guess at what
Substack.
My knowledge of dream symbology after doing this basically full time since 1993, every day.
And getting not one prophecy right. You predicted Ascension would come leading up to the year 2000. It didn't. You predicted Ascension would come again leading up to the year 2012. It didn't. You predicted Ascension would come by May of 2025. It didn't.
Dream work. You know, what do the symbols mean? So I'm just trying to give you what they mean. And again, it's dazzlingly prophetic that these things happened in 1999 And they're so tied in with exactly what we're expecting. The stage is being cleaned up. How many days is it going to be before Christmas? Michael is leading.
These things are so prophetic, but I was spectacularly wrong on when Ascension was coming, so I kicked the can to September now.
Leading us down certain predictable ways of thinking. That preserves the law of free will. You can't prove that this interpretation I'm giving it is right, but we can prove that I had these dreams and that they were on tapes that go back to 1999.
Oh, I can't prove that these prophecies are real, but I can prove I talked to myself on an audio tape in 1999. Great. Who cares, Wilcock, you fucking grifter?
Oh my God, am I going to admit this to you? Can I get away with admitting this? Okay. I think I can get away with this and not lose my coolness. Are you ready? Dude, I listened to Winger.
More proof that David Wilcock is gay.
And I liked it.
More proof that David Wilcock is gay. John says an angel or a demon convinced him to take baths in his own piss, but somehow listening to Winger is embarrassing.
I listened to Winger. And it was, she's only 17, Les says she's too young.
This explains a lot about my childhood right here. That's it, friends. That is it. Remember that kid in Beavis and Butthead that listened to Winger, so they beat him up and made fun of him? That was David Wilcock. Wow. Now I lost my place. Oh, no, we got it.
All right. Well, as we said last week, he wrote me personally, and he said, I am not in the military, and I am not Ezra ... Okay.
Yeah, he's not Ezra Cohen. You told everybody that he was Ezra Cohen. Some psychic. I guess you didn't see it coming. David Wilcock lied to everybody and said, Shadows of Ezra is Ezra Cohen, and he's going to get the job as the head of the Defense Intelligence Agency, and he's going to arrest Stephen. You're a fucking moron, David Wilcock. You are a total, complete idiot, grifting moron.
You left a lot of things out, but, we understand disinformation is necessary and operators never divulge.
He still won't give it up that he was wrong about Ezra, Shadows of Ezra.
So he hasn't told me to stop doing this, and in fact, there's been some very interesting things that look like communication this week.
Yeah, he's making fun of you for talking about time-traveling dinosaurs. We played the clip, you moron. You are an idiot and a moron, David Wilcock. Shadows of Ezra is making fun of you for talking about time-traveling dinosaurs, you moron.
And so now we got 2 weeks to go through, but thankfully the second week was pretty light, so I think we can do it. All right.
Shadows of Ezra posts. Yay.
My childhood friend Dave was on the motorcycle. His father had a heart attack and was in the hospital. And this actually is happening to my lawyer right now. Both his parents are in the hospital. I'm not sure if it's a heart attack, but they're both in the hospital. Some of this was centered around that.
Suffer parents?
His mother and her daughter were both there with him. So again, both of my lawyer's parents are now in the hospital. Heart attack's been part of it.
Suffer parents?
This was also symbolic of the DS being in trouble on the widespread planetary level.
Oh, okay. And John says, as we saw from Gaia's filings on the case, these excuses are also being used by the lawyer to delay and stonewall Gaia's attorneys. Yeah, it's not going to work out too good for you, David.
We hope that we can reach enough people that they will understand. Again,
Shadows of Ezra, his buddy, is still sending him codes. He believes that Ezra is in the military and a secret member of the fake alliance. Great.
If our buddy didn't want to create more suspicion that he really is doing
Wilcock can't even predict Christmas.
After he sent me that,
yes.
Have the number 35 in it. Because this is about as blatant and specific, that and 34 is as big as it gets. Okay?
Big as it gets, friends.
You cannot yet telegraph the message of normal methods for reasons you can understand. Follow our questions of previous threads. Remain calm. Primary targets are within that main area and at the top on both sides. So please don't freak out. Remain calm.
I can't believe he's still reading Qtard posts like these are important or mean something.
Any spillover in the streets is quickly going to be shut down. Stay alert, get vigilant, and above all, please pray. And it says 4:10:20 at the bottom, which adds up
Since
to
at least
34.
1998.
So
Arlene.
then the very next post that whoever and it's 4:44 right now. Isn't that cool? It's 4:44 on my clock right now. Like, yeah, okay.
It's called a coincidence,
Excellent.
you moron.
The very next post that he puts up after one that has 35 minutes in it or 35 seconds in it is one that has 34 seconds in it. Okay, now how did you know that he was going to be declared dead soon? And then that happened 13 days later.
Dude, talk about trying to connect dots that don't exist, right?
So why would you be doing this if you don't want us to think it's a code?
He thinks that Shadows of Ezra is sending him codes. And Shadows of Ezra is making fun of you for talking about time-traveling dinosaurs, you moron. He thinks you're a lunatic.
Well, again, let's not push too hard. Just it's magnificent. There's something weird going on. But
And by the way, Shadows of Ezra can suck a dick, because I tried to tell him all the things that David Wilcock is lying about him, and he blocked me on Twitter and said, "Don't bother me. None of this drama has anything to do with me." It's direct. It directly has to do with you. Every week, David Wilcock is lying to thousands of people that you're Ezra Cohen, that you're going to get the job as the Defense Intelligence Agency head, that you're the head of the alliance and a member of the military. He keeps lying about you. I just wanted you to set the record straight, and you blocked me like a bitch, Telegram Q-tard loser.
But yeah, this definitely looks like the code is alive and well, because the very next video has 34 seconds.
Okay, yeah, the number of seconds means something, right? What a moron.
And this comes out from the father of our friend saying, "Go ahead and sue me."
Somehow Elon Musk saying that has something to do with all this. I don't think so.
And he's got 1.3 million views, and the video length of time.
Yeah, David Wilcock thinks that Shadows of Ezra is sending him secret messages. Also, is he okay with David being in love with him? Yeah, David's got a gay boner for Shadows of Ezra. He wants to peg him and butt bang him and have Shadows of Ezra peg him and butt bang him.
34 seconds. Woo! I mean, like, that's a big, big payback. You can't tell me that's an accident. You can't tell me that
It's called a coincidence, you moron.
that he I mean, if he was not wanting to send us messages anymore, if he's like, oh yeah, this David guy, he does these videos and he says it at 34.
Yeah, he was in a Spaces talking about this David guy who's a lunatic talking about time-traveling dinosaurs, and I don't know anything about that. I have an open mind, but that sounds crazy to me. That's what he's saying about you, David. He thinks you're a lunatic.
And why in the world would he put them side by side when they're so relevant to the content? Okay, so I think we're fine.
Talk about
let's
stretch.
just say this
Talk
is
about a
magnificent. We'll leave it at
stretch.
that, but we got a really great comm. However it happened, universe, thank you. We thank the universe for this communication.
There is no communication, you moron.
And also thank you to Ezra. How long do we live in
David is too gay for Shadows of Ezra, says Matt Murray.
fourth density? It's going to be millions of years. Well, no, we're not going to get Ezra on the show because
he is making fun of you for talking about time-traveling dinosaurs. You're not going to get him on your show because he's making fun of you and thinks you're a lunatic. And he's right, by the way. You are a lunatic.
this is somebody who doesn't want to make a public affiliation because of the way that I'm talking.
About time-traveling dinosaurs, and he's making fun of you for it? Yeah.
I think that he wouldn't want to be implicated in the first round of all this stuff, which
No, he doesn't want to be associated with a lunatic talking about time-traveling dinosaurs.
I understand.
He's a serious Q-tard Telegram guy.
Let's just don't bother him, give him his anonymity, but something magnificent.
Don't bother him. Don't fact check me on all the bullshit I'm spewing about this Q-tard guy, right? That's what the translation is. Nobody contact him.
In response, it was confirmed that phase 2 of the files are coming out as we were promised. So, again, I don't know when it's going to happen, but in my dream, that might be a prophetic dream, it said Christmas occurs this month. And I had the green bicycle,
Oh, I had a green bicycle. That means Christmas.
Very compelling metaphors.
What a
Again, the
lunatic
stage
he
was
is.
all muddy and I had to wash it off. Get it ready for the big show. Get it ready for the theater thing coming into bloom. The stage is now being set. These are things Michael said. They are telling you it is going to happen. I get it, guys. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, it's so frustrating that my predictions are always wrong. I'm the world's worst gay psychic.
So frustrated waiting for this because my whole life has almost fallen apart, but now we got a deal.
Everything's great now. We got a fake aerospace deal.
Dealing with when I have enough money is not a problem at all. It's
if you get the money, but you're not getting it.
only a money question. So when you can pay your taxes, you can pay off your debts. If you need an attorney, you can pay for it, whatever. I mean, that's all just happened. So it's really, really great. The company is behind me. I've got company funds behind me. Everything is good.
The company has no funds. If they had funds, they would pay their bills, you loser.
So please don't worry.
Suffer bills?
About me. And I'm sorry for the melodramatics in the past, but it's just I've been under a great deal of stress. That's all I can say.
Matt Murray says, I'm sorry for all the melodramatics in the past. Is that what he calls it when he tells people to get ready for hell? It's just him being melodramatic. Yeah, of course. Of course, right? All right, just a few more.
And then this particular post was again attacked by...
Oh, this is the best one. This is where he's talking about me again, right?
And then this particular post was again attacked by Stephen.
That's slander. I'm blocked, you moron. I can't reply to anything Shadows of Ezra posts, you moron, because he blocked me for trying to fact check the stupid shit that you're saying about him to your moron followers. I can't have replied to it, and I don't have any alt Twitter accounts, you moron.
Our friend Stephen, who's now got a lot more work to do, so he doesn't bother me as much as he used to, which is kind of nice. But this is what it said. If you
Here again, David Wilcock is claiming that I'm somebody that writes community notes on Twitter. You do realize, David Wilcock, you moron, that if you are dumb as rocks enough to follow through with a lawsuit, this is another slanderous false claim about me that will be in my countersuit. And I'm feeling a great deal of emotional distress over you lying to million people, however many followers, 500,000 people every week, claiming that I'm writing community notes. All I have to do is subpoena Twitter for who wrote those community notes. It wasn't written by me, you moron, but that hasn't stopped you from telling people that I did this. Again, more false allegations, more false claims that this is him attempting to vilify me and to threaten and intimidate me into stopping covering him. It's not going to work, David. I will continue covering you and all of your latest shady shit.
Still believe community notes isn't being weaponized for malicious posts purposes, just look at the disgraceful note under this thread. Community notes username, there he is, Enterprising Desert Raven, is essentially gaslighting.
And by the way, just to put it on the record, I am not Enterprising Desert Raven, but David Wilcock is claiming to 500,000 people that is me, and Shadows of Ezra feels attacked by Enterprising Desert Raven, and Wilcock has created this whole fiction where that person is me, Stephen from Truth Seekers. It's not true, it's false, and it's defamatory, and it's actionable, David, you moron. Keep it up, you moron.
A grieving mother, dismissing her concerns by citing irrelevant things that have no connection. This is the same user who has issued death threats, used IP loggers in direct messaging to try to dox people, and will mass flag anyone who dares to speak out. He spends up to 50. I mean, how does he know this? How exactly did you know this? How do you know? Well, I guess you could look and see the timing of what he does and see that it's 15 hours a day. That's double full time.
Yeah, David Wilcock thinks that in addition to being a husband, a father, a business owner, and also a show host here on Truth Seekers, I somehow also have 15 hours a day to do community notes on Twitter. You are a moron, David Wilcock. You are a true moron. You are dumber than rocks, bro.
So I guess, hey, well done, Stephen. You're a hard worker, man. 15 hours a day.
Yeah, great. What a moron. David Wilcock is literally a moron. Tim Curley with a kind and generous 5. So, and one for the goal says, let's hit the goal. Stephen is crushing it tonight. That's right, I am. And thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. It is much, much appreciated. We thank you for your kindness and for helping us to praise the cash.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank Ra Almighty. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Thank Ra Almighty.
Yes, thank you. And Dawn with a kind and generous 10 pounds from Dawn. No message, but one for the goal. A big one for the goal. So thank you for your kindness, generosity, and support. Much, much appreciated.
Praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash. The blue chickens command you to praise the cash. Praise the cash. Praise the cash.
Does this guy really think he's that special? Yes, he does. And Jupiter's Madness says, we should have numbers. I am Stephen number 9. I approve of this. Let's all pick a number, right? But everybody needs a unique one. Stormcrow says, you are the Matrix, Stephen. There are even Eskimo Stevens, says Trolly Troll Troll. Yeah, so let's continue. Let's see what other false allegations he'll make about me.
That's harder than I work. It really is. Churning out notes under multiple sock puppet accounts, including Resplendent Cedar Osprey. And my mom had the dream about the Osprey, and it's closing in on me, and it wants to attack me. It has a 30-foot wide wingspan. And right before it...
Sounds like David Wilcock's mother needs a rubber room and a straitjacket, too. She's probably a fucking mental case.
For her in the dream, it was her. But I'm saying it's me. Right before it attacks her, it disappears. And it's right next to a barn, which is the whole harvest metaphor. So isn't that interesting? Because
you're 15,
we have no
Mr.
idea
Protractor,
who this
yes.
person is exactly or what's going on here. But it's a part of my life that is
He just said, we have no idea who this person is. After saying it's me. Well, which is it? David Wilcock, you fucking scumbag liar. You just said it was me. Now you're saying we have no idea who this person is. It can't be both, moron. Pick a lane.
Which is the whole harvest metaphor. So isn't that interesting? Because we have no idea who this person is exactly or what's going on here.
We have no idea who this person is or what's going on here. After he said it's Stephen doing this to Ezra. Which one?
But it's
pick a bullshit story to stick to, bullshitter.
It's a part of my life that is constantly in my face because it's constantly in the comments and it's constantly on X.
Yes, there's hundreds of people who don't like you. There's hundreds of people who think you're a grifter, a snake oil salesman, a con artist, and a scammer. So people say mean stuff to you. That's not my fault. I've reported on the facts and the evidence here, including all the court documents, all the lawsuits that your fake aerospace company is experiencing, getting evicted, owing your accountant money and losing a judgment in court. I've reported on all the facts. It's not my fault if people are hearing those facts and coming to the conclusion that Stavatti Aerospace is some kind of a scam and that you are a snake oil salesman, scammer, new age grifter, con artist. It's not my fault, but he blames me for all of it.
And every time I post, within usually a minute or less, he's already doing stuff. And we've actually hired, as I said, 8 people.
Yes, David Wilcock keeps saying this. But, you know, if this goes to a legal situation, we're going to subpoena your payment records. And you better hope that all your payment information is up to date and correct. Are those 8 people all paying income tax that you're paying? Do you have all the paperwork for your 8 employees? Keep lying. Keep lying, you sad, pathetic little bitch.
Just to deal with this, which as a result is great because now I've got really nice moderation. Thank you guys so much for helping.
Yeah, remember, the negative are allowed to be here. But I pay 8 people to get rid of the negative because I am an intellectual weakling coward.
But I didn't know that he was going after other people, all the top influencers, the same way as me.
I'm not going after any influencer. You're making this up. This is your own imagination. And you're making... Listen, Wilcock, go talk to a lawyer, you dumb asshole. You are making statements of fact like I'm writing community notes. You didn't say, in my opinion. You didn't say, I think it's him, or that we have evidence that suggests it's him. You said, as a statement of fact, I'm this enterprising desert raven or whatever, osprey. You're making statements of facts without having any facts, without having any evidence to support those so-called facts. They're fake facts, David Wilcock. You can't do that.
And he's doing it 15 hours a day. Death threats, doxing people. Anybody that speaks out, he's coming after you. Wow. And he said it's all one person.
Yes, so because Shadows of Ezra said this is all one person, David Wilcock has been saying for a year that all of his haters on the entire of the internet are all me, Stephen from Truth Seekers. So he has connected the dots. It must be Stephen then, but you have no evidence. And I can prove in a court of law that I am not that person, David Wilcock, you stupid, stupid moron. I'm going to get to humiliate you in front of a judge and a jury someday by showing them how delusional you are, by showing them how easily you are convinced of a conspiracy that does not exist. I am not this person that you are claiming I am. And I can prove that in court. And you cannot prove that I am that person because you're a moron.
Despite years of complaints and blatant terms of service violations, nothing has been done to address flagrant abuse by this person, which would imply he's somehow being protected, right? Now these
Oh, yeah, I'm deep state CIA, sure.
people, which is, again, he just said one guy, effectively mocking the mother's loss because it threatens the agenda. There is nothing more vile than this kind of cruelty under the guise of fact-checking.
So this is another attempt to make me into some big supervillain so people don't believe my reporting. And we are rapidly approaching a situation in which David Wilcock is going to be in some major, major legal troubles. He thinks he has legal troubles now. He has no idea what's coming if he continues down this dark and dangerous path that he has been on for a year now, accusing an innocent reporter of all this stuff, being a child predator, a Satan worshiper, stealing money out of his bank account, sending suspicious packages in the mail. He's been doing this for a year now. That's a lot of damages, David Wilcock.
I agree. So again, this was like shortly after I got the letter from him that was kind of a big letdown. Okay, so the day after I get the letdown letter, then he exposes this guy who's been doing this to me for 7 years, and now it's happening to everybody else.
He's clearly conflating me and this other person that apparently Shadows of Ezra has some problems with. It is not me. We are not the same person, you moron. I don't work for Twitter. I've never written a community note in my life, and I can prove that. Can you prove that I'm that person? Then you shouldn't go on a public live stream. If you can't prove I'm that person, then don't go on a public live stream to 500,000 people and tell 500,000 people that I'm that person, you moron. That's called slander, you dumb as rocks, dickhead. How much longer do you think I'm going to take this before I take a proactive step to prevent you from slandering me every week and causing my family harm?
So I'm really good at it. I've got the team in place. I know to never answer the phone. I've got it.
I'm really good at staying in my echo chamber because I'm a pussy. That's what you just said. I'm really good at staying in my echo chamber, my false reality that I've invented out of lies.
Down, nothing too bad is ever going to happen, but it's this constant thing that we have to manage. And now it's become everybody's problem. And that would definitely imply that they know who this guy is and that they intend to take action right away. So
I still have a Twitter account. Why haven't they banned me or suspended me or deleted my Twitter? It's at Stephen Cambion on Twitter, X. I'll stay Twitter for the rest of my life. Oh, they're going to stop him. But nobody stopped me from anything because I haven't done any of the things that you've accused me of. If I was sending suspicious packages in the mail, wouldn't I get arrested? If I was stealing $7,000 from some D celebrity, used to be guy from Ancient Aliens, if I stole $7,000 from somebody's bank account, wouldn't I be arrested or in prison? If I was extorting money from David Wilcock, wouldn't I be arrested? Sending death threats even, wouldn't I be? I haven't been arrested. David Wilcock, remember when you told everybody that the Boulder County Sheriff's Office is coordinating with the Philadelphia Police Department and I was going to get arrested soon? None of that happened because you're making all this up because you are a scared, desperate grifter. And I am the cure for your grift. I am the one who is blocking your ability to steal money from morons on the internet. I am the one who is bringing people the truth behind your world of lies. You are desperate to stop me. So desperate, you're willing to call me a Satan-worshiping child predator, thief, extortionist, terrorist who's sending bombs and death threats. Your desperation is showing. But there's nothing else. There's nothing worse you could say about me than tell everybody I'm a child predator or a terrorist or a thief stealing money. It can't get worse. So no matter what you say, I'm going to continue to report the truth about you. I will not be silenced. I will not be intimidated by a grifter into submission. And I'm coming for you and your grift. I wrecked Corey Good's grift. And yours is next, pal. You're the next contestant on Wreck My Grift.
You know, have fun while you can, I guess. I mean, I'm not in control of this, but whatever's going to happen is probably going to be very significant, I would imagine. Otherwise, this wouldn't be talked about like this. So then these are the notes that were done. There are no individuals that actually had this happen to them, and there are only 9 from the other one. Okay.
I just want to say, I'm not going to really weigh in on the specific issue, but by and large, community notes on X, I have found to be accurate and helpful. People have the right to be community noted if they are spewing conspiracy nonsense. Or people have, that happens.
Okay. There he is, 1982 rating impact. Apparently he's working 15 hours a day. And he's using these IP loggers like Yipsu. So
I've never used an IP logger on the internet. I can prove that as well.
If you click on this, he's making threats to people, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to report you and block you. Act like scum. I'll take out the trash. So that's the kind of taunting, teasing, harassing that he does. I'm so used to that stuff now. It's like, yeah, you know what? Every time I go and do anything online, I'm going to be massively bullied by one person for 7 years.
This is bullshit. I have never bullied him, threatened him, intimidated him, anything. He's the one that made this all personal by telling people that I'm a child predator. I have a wife and children, unlike you, you lonely, pathetic dickhead. I have a wife and children. I don't need some asshole like you telling 500,000 people that I'm a child predator. I have children of my own to take care of, you dumb dickhead. You don't get to do this. There will be consequences for all of this, Mr. Wilcock. And those consequences have only just begun. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do. But if I were you, I would be worried about what happens next.
It's never stopped. Anything else beside that? I don't.
What he calls bullying is my accurate reporting. So let's just do a quick review on my accurate reporting. I accurately reported on the David Wilcock, Pete Peterson GoFundMe scam. I accurately reported on the David Wilcock Convergence Pictures LLC scam. I accurately reported on the Emery Smith PayPal donation scam. I accurately reported on the anti-gravity free energy course scam. I accurately reported on the Corey Good scam in which David Wilcock sold people completely and totally 100% fake stories claiming they were true stories scam. I accurately reported on what I believe is the Stavatti scam. I have accurately reported on what I believe is the Ascension is Coming Soon scam. Not once, but 3 different Ascension is Coming Soon scams. That's what he's calling bullying. It's not bullying if I am factually accurately reporting on the truth. Prove that my reporting was inaccurate. And not to say that we have never made a mistake here. If we make a mistake, I will own that. He has never, ever commented on the substance of my reporting. He went straight to character assassination, calling me, a man with a wife and children, a child predator with no evidence whatsoever. He has called me a terrorist with no evidence of that whatsoever. He has called me a master hacker thief that stole $7,700 from him with no evidence of that whatsoever. He has told people that I tried to extort money from him or his companies with no evidence of that whatsoever. He has falsely accused me of calling animal control on him with no evidence of that whatsoever. And we proved that I never called animal control. We found the people that did. He has falsely accused me of getting him swatted with no evidence of that whatsoever. But we found the evidence. We showed you the tape, the body cam footage. He was never swatted. He's making all this up because he's a disgusting, despicable, grifting scumbag. That's what you are, David. Own it. If you're going to be a despicable, disgusting, grifting scumbag, then you fucking own it, man. You own it. And you own all that comes with that. And I'm going to bring it to you. If nothing else, I will help the wheels of karma spin faster so that you receive what you deserve from karma. You cannot go through life doing this for decades and scamming people for decades and not face some karmic consequences. Karma vexes me sometimes. Karma takes too goddamn long, but I'm here to accelerate it. And because you made this so personal, making all of these false and defamatory and slanderous accusations against me, I will devote more time to covering you, to uncovering the truth behind the lies, to exposing the deceptions that you weave. Oh, what a tangled web we weave, David Wilcock. Every week I will be here untangling the webs of deception, peeling back the layers of deception, and showing people the truth behind your lies. You deserve it. And now, since you made this so personal, you have earned it. In order to clear my name as a reporter, I have to keep covering you. So, Mr. Wilcock, you and I are going to be linked. We'll be best friends. When you wake up in the morning, your first thought, if it isn't already, is going to be, oh my God, what's Stephen going to do to destroy my scam next? When you wake up and have your coffee, your first thought of the day is going to be, I hope Stephen is tired today, too tired to research and dig and uncover and get the court documents and show everybody what's really going on behind the scenes of my scams. When you have your lunch, you will think of me. When you take a walk in the woods, you will wonder if I am behind every tree. You have earned it, and you deserve it, Mr. Wilcock.
I don't know what's going on, but I do know that that's happening. Okay, and it's very, very upsetting. But again, once you got a team of 8 people, and you pay them enough to keep them happy, you can get on with your life, and that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, you can go on, keep scamming people, and not let people see accurate reporting. That's what he means.
So again, you have failed to produce the study requested. Your only study proved you were wrong.
Oh,
I'm actively working to get your account suspended, but this is the same guy.
Oh, nonsense. Okay, so there's just one last piece. Macario says this was the best part of his show because it appears that moron genius of the millennium, the guy who claims he has a 180 IQ, can't even work a live stream because after he finished his stream, he just left the stream up for 12 hours. 12 hours long, friends. 12 hours of dead space and dead air. Great job. Well, I think there's a 12-hour limit, so it couldn't have been 12 hours that it was doing this, but it was many, many hours later. I think up until 1 o'clock in the morning when I last checked. Grazi says, David cannot afford underwear. How is he paying 8 people? Yeah, isn't that interesting? Right? Like, instead of buying underwear, he's paying people to delete mean stuff or mean comments. Like, I'll just keep wearing these raggy underwear so I can afford my staff of 8 people, right? To preserve my echo chamber. And let's be clear, David Wilcock lives in an echo chamber. All right, checking in with the goal. We didn't hit it. We're only at 12 of 30. Jeez, I thought I keep setting it lower. Do I have to lower it again so I can feel like a winner and we can hit some goals? You're making me feel like a loser, like DSP. Don't make me fake hit the goal, right? All right. But even though we didn't hit the goal, I am a generous show host. So I have something interesting. And HR, I saw your message and I will review that and get back to you about coming on the show and telling your whole story. How's that, David Wilcock? We have a whistleblower, a Stavatti whistleblower, and he's going to come forward and tell his whole story. I got more for you. Wilcock. I got so much more for you. It's only just begun. This has only just begun, and I wore the right shirt. Don't sue me, bro. Don't sue me. Why don't you debate me, you coward? How about you just debate me? Like, we'll pick an independent content creator or podcast that doesn't know either of us, and they'll have a moderator. We won't talk over each other, and we'll just debate. We'll debate on all of this shit. Why don't you do that? Since you're such a genius, you should be able to easily beat me in a debate about all your scams, right? And prove they weren't scams. You should be able to do that. Yes, Patty, why didn't David Wilcock see this coming? David Wilcock should have seen this coming. He's psychic after all. Good job, Felting DW. Yeah, I don't want to say that name out loud. By the way, to the mysterious person who keeps getting David Wilcock fired up and talking about me, God bless you. God bless you, brother. Keep it up. Duco's Alpha with 1 for the goal. Stephen, I heard you were stealing his socks and undies from his laundry. Praise the cash. That'll be next. But praise the cash. Thank you, Duco Duos, Alpha Ralph, and thank you to all the Kick people who became subscribers. We'll give you another shout out. Community Watch became a subscriber on Kick. Miss Therese became a subscriber. Clydesdale became a subscriber. Bloodwolf 282 became a subscriber. And Jake Raz. And we want to thank iLeveler, who bought like 10 subs, gifted 10 subs recently. Thanks to all of you people for your kindness, generosity, and support. It is much, much appreciated. I don't live in a multi-million-dollar home. I don't have an 8-person staff. I'm trying to get that True Seekers Clips channel monetized so that I can enter into a partnership with Spooky, the greatest clips producer ever, to just run that channel. And did you see? Let's play it. Did you see that first? Did you see that first clip that Spooky produced? It's amazing. Spooky knows this material so well, and yeah, look, we'll share it. If you want to see this clips channel go ape shit like I want to, you got to see these. Thank you, Duco's Alpha Ralpha, for your kindness, generosity, and support.
Ra commands you to bow down and praise the cash.
All right, let me make sure there's no more. No, we're good. Stephen, I keep talking about you getting David all worked up. You're welcome. Yeah, I'm trying to keep you undercover. You're gonna blow your cover, buddy. God bless you, though. So this is just the first clip that Spooky. Remember, all the clips on the channel, most of them were produced by me. A few by Spooky. The best clips on the Clips channel were produced by Spooky. And Oh, this is weird. Let me change my background because this looks weird because it's the same background on the background. And one moment. There we go. We'll do it a little differently. So this is the first clip that Spooky has produced for the Clips channel since we started it. There's some other clips from Spooky that Spooky produced before that we put on the Clips channel. We're trying to get the channel monetized. So pinned in the live chat on kick.com and pinned in the live chat on YouTube is the link to the True Seekers Clips channel. If you haven't already, please go over there because I want to see a Clips channel full of shit like this. This is glorious. Ha ha. Steven had your old boss on your show. Suffer, bitch. Oh.
Winter says Steven had your old boss on his show last week, David. That's great.
Because you need help. Somebody who loves David needs to come in and help him. And David, you need to stay away from Corey Good.
That's great. That's actually exactly what we want. Please do that again and do more of it.
Oh, we will.
Please do that again.
We will. Even after the spectacular Corey Good admission that he made all those stories up, David Wilcock still goes and does an appearance with him live.
Yep. How could you do that?
Anyway, yeah, you're gonna.
I had his old boss on my show who agrees with me that David Wilcock is conning everybody. He's not talking to angels. He doesn't have secret sacred prophecies. He's a liar and a con artist and is losing his goddamn mind.
You know, we're comparing it in the suit that we're putting together to the Unabomber. Okay, that's the best comparison.
I'm as bad as the Unabomber.
Somebody who just wants to go after everybody in the entire community at the same time. And I just happen to be kind of how he got started and figured out what to do. It's pretty freaking crazy. So we're not talking about minor stuff here, and we're talking about widespread, extreme threats to other people and just a level of hatred and malice. This dream was so powerful, so amazing in light of the fact that right as she told me this,
we're going to bring you that story next week.
Ezra is cracking down on Steven, and that Steven was using Resplendent Cedar Osprey. Those
Again,
three
false,
words, Resplendent
false.
Cedar Osprey.
Totally
is his
false.
name. When is David going to say that you are not in the military and that your name is not Ezra? And then he said, these things are not true. We're both being attacked by one individual. We don't necessarily know what his name is.
But he said it was me.
What he posted the very next day.
I thought you said it was me.
It was a blow to my ego, I admit.
Well, again, David Wilcock, tick-tock, motherfucker. You don't get to accuse me of being a child sex predator without consequences. Prove that what I reported on all of the things I mentioned, the Pete Peterson scam, the Anti-Gravity's Coming Soon scam, the Corey Good Secret Space scam where you defrauded the UFO community, your old boss agrees with me, David Wilcock. Suffer. It has just only begun. That's right, Wilcock. You will pay for telling people that I'm a child predator. You will pay for telling people I'm a terrorist. You will pay for telling people I got you swatted. You will pay for telling people I stole money from your bank account. You will pay for telling people I'm sending bombs to people in the mail. You will pay for claiming that I sent you death threats I never sent. You will pay, David. And you've only just begun. You have no idea what is coming for you. Nice. What a great job Spooky did on that one. And by the way, it got like 1,500 hits, 1,600 views on Twitter already, and we just posted it. So kudos to Spooky. Which came first, the grifter or David? Winter says, oh, he's going to pay all right. Suffer, Wilcock. And by the way, I just want to make sure that I put on the record that when I say he will pay, I mean in a karmic way. You know, I don't really wish him ill will, but part of me does, given the false allegations he keeps making about me. Whatever, you know, it's going to take something big to get him to stop doing this. You know, he's never going to get a real job. He's never going to stop scamming people. That's been his whole existence for decades. He doesn't know how to do anything else. Jupiter's Madness says it's very cinematic. Winter says, great job, Spooky. I agree. So please do go on over to the True Seekers Clips channel. Looks like we picked up a few more subscribers tonight. So we got to keep pumping this clips channel till we get 1,000 of you over there. And then we got to try to get some watch time. A+ Spooky. Algaray says, DW lies with a straight face, says Patty. Yeah. Winner says he will bring himself down. Well, that's kind of what I mean. You can only escape your karma so much. Algaray says kudos to Spooky. Absolutely. Great job. Imagine a whole channel full of clips that good. That's what I'm imagining. And honestly, it makes my dick hard. So help me keep my clips channel boner. Let's get that channel monetized, friends. Go on over. If you're listening in the audio podcast, just put Truth Seekers Clips, one word. Truth Seekers Clips, one word in the search bar. Go on over there and smash the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. We're going to be putting more clips up weekly. I'm going to try to get some more done tonight. Some of our best and funniest bits are over there. And I'm glad. We've been trying to do this clips channel forever. It takes an army to do this stuff sometimes. And I've been an army of one for far too long. Spooky's always been around kind of helping me as much as Spooky could. So let's get Spooky a real gig here. I would appreciate it. Boner clips. Yes, that's definitely right. Yeah. So there's one more thing that I want to share with you for the bonus. Some of you may remember that I reported on this girl. Oh, wait a second. Okay. Some of you may remember that I reported on this girl psychic, Sarah R. Adams, and what a scumbag she is. And when I say she's a scumbag, I mean she's a dirty bitch. Not only does she scam people for a living, but she is just disgusting and despicable in her personal life. And to prove that, her manager recently posted a video of her room. Now, I don't want to spoil the tea before it's brewed, but holy jeez. So she accused her manager of stealing from her, and he kind of turned on her. And so he started sharing some very revealing stuff about this new age scammer, Sarah R. Adams, fake psychic healer. Yes, Salty Pug, you get the slop. And I mean slop. This is some shit here. So he posts this video, which is, he says, yes, this is multi-dimensional coach Sarah R. Adams' room. If anyone has doubts that it's her room, please contact, and then he gives a name, who made the video. So I think she kind of screwed somebody on rent and just left her room that she was renting with somebody and didn't pay them. That's what I heard. She's free to correct me on that portion. And so this is her room, friends. There's shit in the bathtub. That's shit in the bathtub. That is shit in her bathtub. She had shit in her bathtub, friends. Why does she have shit in her bathtub? Shit. Shit in the bathtub. It's Dookie. Dookie in the bathtub. Look at this hoarding mess. Holy jeez. Oh, Sarah, you dirty bitch. Sarah, look, why is there Dookie in your bathtub? Sarah, you dirty girl. Holy Jesus. Dirty, dirty girl, Sarah R. Adams, multi-dimensional coach. Yeah, I want this girl coaching me, right? Yo, I definitely want this girl coaching me on my life, right? Like, she can really help me in my... She's a multi-dimensional coach, not my rabbit hole. Yeah, this is Sarah R. Adams' room. And there's Dookie in the bathtub. And I asked her manager, I'm like, did she have like a cat that just shit in the bathtub or something? And he said, no, that's from her doing enemas. She did enemas in the bathtub. That's why there's shit. There is shit in the bathtub. This girl got Dookie in the bathtub. This is so gross. This girl wants to coach you on life. with her psychic powers and her medicinal psychic super healing superpowers. She wants to heal you for $300, right? She's selling people courses on how to achieve a better life. Look at this. Look at this. Look at her toilet. It's disgusting. Oh, there's Dookie in the bathtub. It's Dookie. Dookie in the bathtub. Sarah R. Adams, you dirty girl. Look at your room. You're trying to coach people? You're trying to help people heal? Why don't you heal yourself? Clean your goddamn room, you dirty girl. Oh my God, it's so dirty. Yeah, I don't know. This is from, it's multi-dimensional Dookie. Oh my God, yes, what a pig. Oh, it looks like a hoarder's house. That's her room. With the Dookie in the bathtub. And oh my God, look at this. Look at all this. Oh, it's so gross. I would grow up. Love and light and hoarding. Love, light, and hoarding. Oh my God, it's gross. It's so gross. Look at this. What am I doing in a room? Throwing up. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? I can't take it anymore. Could you? Let's see if we can stop it at a certain place. There we go. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Look at it. We'll just leave it there. Could you imagine like meeting this girl in a nightclub or something and she takes you back to her house? Holy jeez, right? Is she giving herself enemas due to opioid constipation? No, I just know she's a big proponent of enemas for some kind of healing stuff, I guess. I really don't know why she's giving herself enemas, but imagine renting her a room and she's literally shitting in the bathtub, giving herself enemas. This girl wants to coach you with her superpowers on how to have a better life. Yeah, where's the crystals? They're under all the trash, right? Yeah, I feel a little bit better. My office is a mess because it's the one room in my house that my wife won't clean because it's such a mess. But Jesus, Wilcock is in love. Yeah. She needs to teleport that crap up to the starship. Yeah, to the med bed. She needs a med bed session to heal her sloughing, lazy ass. How do you let your room get that bad? Where's the meth pipe? It says troll, troll, troll. Well, we didn't hit our goal tonight, but this was the shocking bonus content. So listen, tomorrow when I set a goal and I tell you I have something really great to share, you'll know I'm not kidding around. I got more for you. Oh, you think this is bad? I got more. I got so much more. I got a whole thumb drive that her manager sent me full of stuff like this. Oh, it's wonderful. Sarah R. Adams, you dirty girl, clean your room before you try coaching other people. And imagine being somebody that's having a tough time in life and you hire this girl to coach you to a better life, right? That's the house of a crackhead. So to review, David Wilcock pees in his bathtub and Sarah R. Adams poops in the bathtub. Yes, match made in heaven, if you ask me. So, my friends, I want to thank Railroad Bum for this song that we started off tonight's broadcast with. And I also want to thank John Christian Spadavaccia for sending me several pieces of tonight's broadcast that we used, to educate people. Thank you, John. And we want to thank Spooky for the wonderful graphics. And I think we have done our due diligence. I'll check in one more time with the kind and generous people on Kick. Make sure we have nothing else to read out. For those unaware, we read every single super chat. We thank every single person that subscribes or gifts a sub on Kick. If you gift a membership, we read it out. If you become a member, we read it out. Thank you all for your kindness. Looks like we're all caught up. So, what can I say, friends? This has been a wild one, but that's all I got for you. Until next time, my name is Stephen Campion. Good night, and God bless all of you.
corners of the night, secrets hidden from the light. Whispers turn to screams, shattering all your dreams. Eyes wide open now, truth you can't disavow. Echoes through the halls, crashing all your walls. Truth seekers, exposing the truth. Truth seekers, coming for you. Uncover the lies, open your eyes. Shadows try to hide, no place for them to bide. Light will pierce you through, reveal what is true. Running from your fears, can't escape the sears. Truth will hunt you down, tear apart your crown. Truth seekers, exposing the truth. Truth seekers, coming for you. Uncover the lies, open your eyes. Eyes wide open now, truth you can't disavow. Echoes through the halls, crashing all your walls. Truth seekers, exposing the truth. Truth seekers, coming for you. Uncover the lies, open your eyes.
David Wilcock is a total liar. We never tried to bang him in his butt. The truth is, it was the plow guy who did but stuff with David Wilcock, not us. We've been framed for assault. David Wilcock lies about everything. We never tried to eat that guy, and we sure didn't kill him and bring him back to life. He made it all up because he was having pillow fun time with the plow guy. Don't believe a word this guy says. We didn't mess with his butt, honest.
Christian Colon, how do you feel about Boeing being awarded the next-gen fighter contract? That's fine. I mean, ours is better, and I just hope that our design doesn't get held back because of that contract happening. But it's definitely going to get made, and we've already flown it in flight simulators. We know that it works with... They're just going to have a really hard time with being sexual, which has also been my case. As I said last weekend, I don't want to go into all the detail because it's traumatic, but you know, my relationships have not really been physical. Most of the time, it's just a short amount of time, and then I start to have difficulty. And it doesn't make it, fun to have a relationship, because I just got overwhelmed. I mean, with my first girlfriend, the first time I made out with my first girlfriend in college, she was Japanese. I started to feel sick, and I was very much in love with her. I thought she was beautiful. My heart was open to her, but as soon as I started getting physical, I felt like I was going to throw up. I had a very, very hard time with the whole process, and that has unfortunately been consistent. I have to feel very safe. I have to feel very stable. I can't just do it. It's got to be like, it's got to all be right, and I hope that I've healed enough from this that in the future it'll be different, but that's the way it's always been. And it's probably why people didn't stick around either. I mean,